jealous. Then make it legal, smoke on my herbs. They say I'm degenerate. Eat my food, oh shit, it's unhygienic. Ay.
Alright, cool. Let me play that song quickly. Oh, my phone.
I always fair in love and war. What do we do if war is war and love is war? Ain't raising the wage, but they're waging war. I'ma free my people. What's on my waist? Machete, of course. What's on my waist? Got spells, of course. Anytime we move, what? They're looking sideways. Tryna worship my God.
That's the latest track I recorded. I made that one yesterday. Reload it. I should call that one Columbus Gay. Can't know the colonizers for real.
I always fair in love and war. What do we do if war is war and love is war? Ain't raising the wage, but they're waging war. I'ma free my people. What's on my waist? Machete, of course. What's on my waist? Got spells, of course. Anytime we move, what? They're looking sideways. Tryna worship my God. They say it's the wrong way. I'm playing my drums. They say it's evil. They're seeing us dance, jealous. They make it legal, smoke on my herbs. They say I'm degenerate. Eat my food, oh shit, it's unhygienic. I'm way too welcoming, now I'm inconsiderate. Don't like speaking your language, must be dyslexic. Bunch of savages, they can't think for themselves. Colonize their land, take a piece for yourself. They have no spine, can't stand for themselves. Even if they die, we gon' hire some help. We gon' destroy them, bury them, rape them, sell them, get rid of them. We gon' show them, and scatter them, break them, build them again, then break them. They can't keep multiplying. applying. The pressure we applying, they won't be replying. It's calculated, they keep multiplying. Oh shit, they're chopping heads off and guttering. How dare them, never thought they had it in them. Outrageous, I don't understand, always thought we was better than them. What they, I'm a black man with my ancestors, I'ma take over, not the agenda. We know reverse or colonizer, not the agenda. Recycle this shit, use it against them, not the agenda. Columbus gay, fuck your disciples, not the agenda. Always fair, in love and war. What do we do if war is war and love is war? Ain't raising the wage, but they're waging war. I'ma free my people, what's on my waist? That fire, of course. What's on my waist? That ayy, always fair in love and war. What do we do if war is war and love is war? And raising the wage, but they're waging war. I'ma free my people, what's on my waist? That fire, of course. What's on my waist? Got spells, of course.
Alright, cool, back. My phone's bugging out. In the past 5 years, I probably bought like 6 pairs of headphones, bro. Shit. Oh, what the fuck? Nah, what the fuck? Let's mute that for now. I forgot about this Kingdom of Kong. Oh my days, I forgot I had the whole kingdom. My man's got like fucking 4 wives, bro. I need to restart. This Crusader King game is nice, bro. If you want to learn strategies and how to take over shit, you know what I'm saying? The art of war strategies. This game is amazing. But I think I'm gonna restart. I'm gonna restart from a new dynasty. I'm gonna restart because if you look, I have the Fama Labidiedo. That's what I have saved right now. But Duke Enrico, yeah, I can just start a new save in it, of course. That's what I'm gonna do, but I need to go check my emails quickly. So I'm just reading I got sent a poem. We lost our fangs and claws and dreamed of having wings. Somehow we lost our fur and our thicker skin. We had to fight with fire and learn to cook our food, taming our natural desires to dance in the new. Hard to be human these days. I cannot find my tribe now that would work and play together, where we would dream and dance, oh, like we would be forever. I live from hand to mouth now, under so much pressure. Life is now a hard round, where a few take all the treasure. Most are not who they are, or who they would be, tolerating neighbors, if not humanity. From dawn to dusk, from dusk to dawn, fighting with some gravity on the third stone from the sun. Hard to be human these days. Hard to be human in so many ways. So hard. Must I become a robot now? With all this progress, pressure, taxed and told every hour to be managed as I'm measured, must I be merged with machines? For some higher power's pleasure, must I become a working slave for the clever to have more leisure? Hard to be human these days, hard to be human in so many ways, so hard. This is my friend David sent me this poem. This is amazing. The way he writes is just so thoughtful. Like, this is because I write songs as well. This is what I'm aiming. This is what I'm aspiring to. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I think he's 70, so he's been writing for as long as I've been alive times 3. He's probably been writing for like 60, 40 years. You know what I'm saying? But that's why this should be motivating me. Like, it's inspiring. So, anyway. Look at this company hierarchy. Losers are at the bottom, clueless people are somewhere in the middle, and the sociopaths, they're right at the top of the fucking food chain.
We lost our fangs and claws and dreamed of having wings. Somehow we lost our fur and our thicker skin. We had to fight with fire and learn to cook our food. Taming on natural desires to dance in the nude. Hard to be human these days. I cannot find my tribe now that would work and
Bro, I might sing this to a singer, you know, like, he's looking for a black female singer. This is a good demo we have right here. Let me just save that one. Oh shit, where am I typing?
geopolitics. Mark, how are you doing today?
Danny, thanks for having me. It's always an honor and a pleasure to be on the show.
Of course. Before we begin, everyone, be sure to hit that like button. That helps boost the stream in the algorithm. You can find all of Mark's links, his X
But
account,
why is
as
my
well as his
YouTube live
Telegram
always the wrong
in
title?
the video description
Fucking
below.
hell.
You can also find all the ways you can support this channel from Patreon, Substack, and many other options. But let us get started. So, Mark, the vaunted aid package that has been discussed for many months now for Ukraine, but also it's a broader $95 billion package that also includes money for Israel, for weaponry and other assistance, as well as to Taiwan. But there's been still a debate raging, and I want to know your assessment. There are some in the U.S. foreign policy establishment who believe this is a game changer. Of course, Vladimir Zelensky believes this. And then, of course, there are others, and there was a report in Politico that discussed that this is likely not going to change anything. So what do you believe is going to happen now that this money has been passed, and how will it affect the overall situation in the conflict?
Okay, so I know that a lot of people who really don't understand American domestic political theater, what they call politics, works, and a lot of people, for some reason, became enamored with the idea that somehow the U.S. would not send this aid, that they would just stop supporting Ukraine. Let me see if I can put on my best Speaker Mike Johnson impression. There will not be another penny for Ukraine until we get border security. Here's 61 billion with no border security. So I don't even know what all that political theater was about, but evidently from the reports we're getting, both Trump and Speaker Johnson got together and got behind the Ukraine aid, and the whole issue of border security was completely forgotten, and then now Russia's part of the new axis of evil again. So American political theater is Byzantine, but the most important thing to understand about it is political theater, right? I know some of you think you live in a democracy, but I mean, just take a look on the college campuses right now of the students and the teachers being brutally beaten down with snipers overhead and militarized police beating them. You think you have the right to express political dissent in the United States? Think again. Think again. And that's happening all over Europe as well. The Palestine World Congress was shut down in Germany, and speakers weren't even allowed to attend. And you know, if you wear an orange and black ribbon in Germany, you'll be arrested immediately. So you know, forget the idea that you live in some kind of democratic free societies.
Actually,
you have all the liberal.
Let's pause this here. Let's listen to the Trudeau. Wait, this is Trudeau. If you don't know, Justin Trudeau he's currently the prime. Shit, I don't know if you could hear me. Justin Trudeau is currently the Prime Minister of Canada. Probably one of the worst Prime Ministers ever in Canada. But this is his brother. Apparently, he's doing an interview with Tucker Carlson.
Most people in Western countries, in the United States, in Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Great Britain, et cetera, most people who lived in those countries 2 years ago got the COVID vax. That's just a fact. And maybe because of that fact, very few people want to talk about what that was, not just what the vax itself was and what it may do to the human body and the human brain. Those are worthy conversations, important conversations, necessary conversations, ignored conversations. But the bigger conversation is, why were governments across the West pulling out all stops to force people to take this compound that they called a vaccine? What was this? And what do we learn about the motives and the aims of those governments by their behavior around the vax? What do we learn? Because those countries, all of them, revealed that they were not, in fact, democracies. They were not free countries at all. They were something very different. And if you go back and you watch the tape and you watch how Western leaders talked about the COVID vaccine, about people who didn't want to get vaccinated, you learned a lot about them. In fact, it's not your body, your choice, in their view. It's their body and their choice. And in no country was this clearer, maybe, than Canada, where the Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, not only told people to get this drug, but attacked anyone who wouldn't as illegitimate, as evil, as a fifth column within the borders of Canada seeking to overthrow the democracy of Canada. In case you've forgotten, here he is.
For the vast majority of people, the rules are very simple. To travel, you've got to be vaccinated. When people see that we're in lockdowns or serious public health restrictions right now, because the risk posed to all of us by unvaccinated people, people get angry. Proof of vaccination will be required by no later than the end of this month for all federal employees. And by mid-November, enforcement measures in place will make sure that everyone is vaccinated.
If you don't want to get vaccinated, that's your choice. But don't think you can get on a plane or a train besides vaccinated people and put them at risk.
Wait a second. If you don't take this untested drug, you can't travel within your own country? You are inherently unclean, and clean, obedient people shouldn't be forced to sit next to you? That's like Nazi stuff, right? I mean, that's what we read about when we read about the darkness descending on Germany in the 1930s. That's why we aren't for fascism, because we're not for that. That's why we're free and they were enslaved. And yet all of a sudden, our leaders, particularly that leader, were just saying it out loud.
Let's go with medium.
You must do this or else you have no rights at all. Amazing. And of course, most people in Canada, as most people in the United States, went along with it, but some didn't. And famously, a group of truckers in Canada decided to form what they called a freedom convoy, drive to Ottawa to protest this. And in response, the Prime Minister of that country invoked the Emergencies Act for the first time in the history of Canada. And this gave the police, among other powers, the power to freeze your bank account, to shut down your Bitcoin exchange. So it turns out we spent like 80 years talking about dictators and fascists, but when they emerged in our own societies, we didn't even notice. But a few people did notice, and one of them is a man called Kyle Kemper. He's a Canadian. He happens to be the half-brother of Justin Trudeau, and it may or may not be personal, but he wound up on exactly the other side of this question of medical freedom and bodily autonomy. And so we thought it'd be interesting to talk to him about what we're watching, not just in his country of birth, Canada, but around the world. And he joins us now. Kyle, thanks so much for coming on.
Tucker, it's a real pleasure to be on.
So I do think, I mean, this just happened a couple of years ago, so it's hard to know when you're in the middle of something what's really significant and what isn't. But 2 years out, it does seem like this question of whether you have the right to decide what drugs go into your body. This is kind of maybe the central right that we have as free people. How do you read what happened in Canada over the vax? Like, what did that mean?
Oh, I mean, I think all over the world there were people who were very distrustful of it, and I think we've been warned. There's been many warning signs that there would be a mass injection campaign coming at some point, and then with, you know,
Wait, I'm sorry to interrupt you. So you believed before COVID even got here that the government of your country, my country, of all of our countries, might force us to take an injection of something.
I mean, that's what many people were kind of warning about. I think Aaron Russo many moons ago was suggesting that. And
did you take that seriously at the time?
You know, when you keep hearing, you know, that this warning that this might come down at some point, and then you see with the COVID-19 scenario, everyone painting fear around the virus, and hope around the vaccine.
I need to figure out my area and stuff, because I usually play. I started the dynasty that I started was in the African continent. I played in Eastern Europe, but I haven't played with Iberia Peninsula yet, so I'm just getting familiar with my surroundings and shit.
Like, that just, your spidey sense kind of goes up. The hairs stand up on your arms, and you think, something's amiss here. And then when it becomes, okay, everybody must do this for the greater good, and you see all of a sudden, public officials like my brother out there being effectively salesmen for the pharmaceutical industry, otherwise promoting a product that you can't advertise, and yet you have the schools, you have it being pushed across all of society in such incredible levels that there was a lot of people who were
hesitating between this
like
one,
you and
this
I,
one, and that one,
suspicious of it. And personally, I have 5 children and a 6th on the way, and I'm not willing to expose myself to something that could be very dangerous. There's a difference between fear and danger. And it's like, if you operate in a land of worrying about all the things that scare you, that's one thing. To be aware and conscious of clear and present dangers and to be reactive to that is important. And that's what I chose to do, and many of us have chosen to.
Me too. I had pretty much the same reaction. My spidey senses went off. I'm not taking that. I mean, my family's not doing that. But I didn't really have a framework for understanding it. I mean, from my perspective, I think I was watching the wrong media or something. It came kind of out of the blue, and all of a sudden you see these governments acting, in authoritarian, totalitarian ways, and I'm still shocked when I think about it. You seem less shocked.
I was always worried that what might happen, with when Justin was in power. Like what kind of scenario could happen if another, a 9/11 type massive global scenario were to unfold. Sure enough, we see the.
Why were you worried about that?
Because what type of actions, would come out of it? Just like in the wake of 9/11, we saw all the nations of the world kind of come together underneath, this anti-terror plan and this war on terror. Now we have, the war on COVID.
It's just again, it's interesting to talk to someone who was a little more enlightened a little earlier than I was, because I saw your brother and I thought, well, he's a liberal. You know what I mean? Like in a true probably smokes a lot of weed and has, dreams about world peace or something. That's the opposite of what this turned out to be. How did you know that?
Well, first, I loved my brother Justin.
Of course.
Through and through. And, I don't think he never smoked that much weed. He was not really into that. That was not his thing. He's pretty on point. But I will, add to it that he liked to be he likes the attention, and he likes to be the leader of the show. And when the opportunity for him to be, follow in his father's footsteps and be the Prime Minister of Canada, because if you're growing up as a child and you see your father as the Prime Minister and having access to all of the
these ones they're kind of close to me, so I need to keep
lights
them.
the
This guy's my brother, but
events, the interactivities,
the trappings, we say.
Trappings, yeah. You kind of want that too. And I think, I don't know what exactly took place, but at some point it was like, yeah, it was either Justin was kind of identified as someone who'd make a great Prime Minister and was helped in that journey. And quite frankly, Justin he's an amazing person, and he was able to connect with so many people.
Yes.
And very lovable. But again, once this COVID and the vaccine thing took place, and his words that he was using, which I don't know were really coming from his heart or whether they're coming from the teleprompter.
He's a Muslim.
What was really being.
But it sounds like you saw in him, despite your love for him and your acknowledgement of his talent, which obviously is, he's the Prime Minister. You saw in him the potential for the abuse of power.
Wait, what? Why is this guy on minus 100?
I mean, I don't think he's abusing power. I think power is just in general being abused.
Yep.
Just like we've seen it, whether it's Justin or Boris Johnson,
right?
Jacinda Ardern, or Joe Biden.
Couldn't agree more. Power tends to be abused by its nature,
and centralized systems over time, the further centralized they get, the more secretive and corrupt they become as well.
Amen.
Let me
You're speaking my language, Kyle. I
Let me
totally agree with
chat
you.
to
So,
my man quickly.
when the vax thing happened and your brother starts saying things like anyone who hasn't taken it is dirty and you should have a right not to be physically near a dirty unvaccinated person, you say that was stuff from that not from his heart but from the teleprompter. Who do you think was putting it on the teleprompter?
Well, or it's
No,
like,
but
as Matthias
sparring
Desmond said,
right
like
now.
this mass formation psychosis.
Yeah.
When you have like everybody around him saying all this, like, you know, it's like, you know, what are his inputs?
This
Like
is tough
Plato's
stuff.
cave. Like if everybody's always around you
Yeah.
telling you how the world is, you know, that's going to impact your worldview versus ourselves being open to having much more access to open information and, you know, actually listening to it. Like there's a point I really believe, like there's good intentions, but when counter information is presented, it's like you don't want to hear it, and it threatens the worldview. It's like, just give me the blue pill. I'll just keep
It's
taking.
totally
the blue.
right.
Like, no, don't want to know, because I know, like, as if you recognize that there is, you know, there's
80%
shadows and there are
successful.
nefarious activities, and there's
14
you know,
months.
that some of these warnings might have some credence and
Cool. Let's just see what.
demand further investigation and justice, then you know, can be an uncomfortable position to put yourself in.
What happened?
What and thank you for mentioning Matthias Desmet wrote one of the
King
great
Jimena.
books in the last 100 years, in my opinion.
Well, and then
that one?
and in that point, what he said about, you know, you can catalyze a group to really, you know, hate another group.
Oh yes.
And, you know, and Charles Eisenstein wrote an excellent article called Mob Morality and the Unvaxxed, in which he made the case that, you know, this group is being like relentlessly attacked. And, you know, we saw a Toronto Star in Canada write a full like front page article saying let them die. It was just so hostile towards, you know, those of us who said, no, you know what, I'm not interested. I'm not going to do this. You don't have.
And
the
they
right to
wished
tell
your
me.
death on you for that.
And they would, and I mean, you know, even Joe Biden said it's going to be, what did he say, a winter of death?
Yes.
Or something ridiculous along those lines. Like the absurd pressure to take this experimental injection. Like I got suspended off Twitter for calling it a fake vaccine. Because I'm like, does it stop transmission?
7
Does it prevent
years left.
infection?
Oh,
No.
fuck.
How you can call it a vaccine?
Yeah. So
This
what
is the nature of changing
what did that
words.
mean for you? Well, you probably got suspended because you're Justin Trudeau's brother too, so you could.
It was it was a reply to one of his boasting tweets about, you know, how terrific it is that we've stuck 70 million people in the arm.
What did that mean for you and your family? So you've got a 6th child away, you got a huge family. You're from Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Could you go back, like during the COVID lockdowns?
So in the beginning, it was very difficult, and then there was this whole essential worker kind of scenario. The border was just a nightmare. And that's why I ended up getting this RV that's now
You know what I'm
super
saying?
awesome
When you
Kennedy
just get
bus.
started like that.
And you know, I drove around America, drove from California up to Canada because, you know, the airports were
you need to
unconscious, and like, you know, when you're dealing with agents in an airport and you've got your
Focus and
family
shit.
and you have mixed nationalities within the family, there's a chance you could, you know, have a bad interaction and your family's split up there,
my
and
guy
all of a sudden it's apart.
doesn't
So,
have a wife
you know,
yet.
just
We need to find him a wife.
taking the
'cause
pragmatic,
He doesn't have children.
intelligent
yet.
approach, in my opinion. I got an RV and I drove across the country, and that also
old
was
is
super eye-opening because
24.
driving
She's
across
Welsh.
America in, what was that, June of 2020?
Yeah.
Really interesting. California was very scared. We got to Texas. I was in the spring with like 3,000 people. It was amazing. It was like everything was fine. Everything was great. And then, like, as we proceeded to get closer to Ottawa,
gonna
it's
help
like,
me.
you know, the level of fear, you could just feel
I
it.
need
And that's once
allies
you got
that
into
are a
Canada.
bit closer to
God, it
man.
was-
You know what I'm saying? Like,
You're
in
there
this area
14
type
days,
shit.
pure isolation between coming in there, and like, you know, and if you were in contact with other people in 14 days, you could face up to 6 months in jail, and I think it was a $500,000 fine was they're threatening you with. It's
There
just
is that
it's
one.
just insane what you know, the levels. And there's, And then when challenged on these topics, and this is what the truckers did a lot of, was like, can we talk about some of these general assumptions and these facts that you're stating behind why we're doing this? They're met with hostility for asking simple questions.
Well, those questions were racist, as I remember, weren't they?
I would not say that. I think they're fair questions that desire honest interactivity. But this is the challenge about a myth. It's like when everything is based on a myth or based on a lie or false or a deceptive narrative, you can't debate. Instead, you must attack and enrage and censor and smear.
Yeah.
This was like the whole conspiracy theory. Like, no, it's just conspiracy theory. Don't talk about that. I mean, you played a part in that like way back in the day as well. We're just dismissing.
Oh, I used to dismiss a lot of things as conspiracy theories.
I mean,
yeah.
Remember, I believe you said it was blasphemous to question 9/11. And
I famously said that to Alex Jones's producers. And I think I said it for the same, it was in 2012, and I think I said it for the same reason that Matthias Desmet, in your description, described, which is to admit that the things you thought were true might not be true or more complicated than you thought they were, kind of challenges your assumption about everything, and that's scary. And I just didn't want that. And then, by the time 2015 rolled around, it was like absolutely impossible to deny that a lot of this was fake.
And everybody can also change too, like based on information. Like at some point, anybody can forgive themselves can forgive themselves and apologize to themselves for being deceived or having gone down a wrong path. Like you can realize that something, actions that you've taken were misplaced and move forward in intention and integrity.
Of course. And by the way, you can't have integrity if you don't do that.
Right.
You can't live with a lie. You have to give it up by repenting. So how were you treated in Canada? How have you been treated in Canada since you're making a case that's, diametrically opposed to that of your brother?
Trying to make some alliances.
Well, he referenced like the truckers as like a small fringe minority, and I'll counter that. I actually believe the Liberals and the current government really represent a small fringe.
I think that's right,
and I think the majority of Canadians are frustrated. They're wondering why it's costing $45 for a platter of vegetables at the store. I feel like they're frustrated around what took place, how 2 years of their lives were surrounded within so much fear and how everybody was cut off. And people I know, like personally, some like when I spoke up during the trucker
there's
thing,
a way where you can
was really inspired by them. It was like 99 to 1 positive messages to negative messages. It's been overwhelmingly positive, the reaction and the sentiment. And it just seems like real, like reality or like the primary interactions that I'm seeing with people versus like the Matrix reality. What you see on television are very different. And in talking to some of my friends in Ottawa, like, I asked them, like, did you go down to Parliament Hill and engage? Because it seemed like, it seemed like it was like a demonstration, but it also seemed like it was a party. It seemed like for 17 days, Burning Man came to Ottawa.
Yeah.
It was freezing.
In January.
Freezing man. And crime was down. Vibes were high. People were looking out for each other. There was communal effort. They were participating. There was so much gifting. It was radically inclusive. Like all the principles were on display. But, to those who didn't venture in there, they just watched the news. It was, no. This is like, this is right.
Nazi conclave.
Nazis. They flew a Nazi flag. And oh my God, it's the Nazis. And that's like, I feel like that flag was basically, what was the Reichstag?
Yeah.
All over again.
Of course.
Micro example of that planted. So there was this opportunity to engage with these million people, and the truckers, but more than the truckers too, because the truckers represented the heart of it. But then Canadians came out. I talked to my friend Sonny. He went to go to an overpass, and he had been isolated for over a year, like with his family, living in this bubble. And when questioning things, and then he went out to see the overpass and see all the truckers. There were hundreds of people at this overpass, and just like the energy of all those people was really inspiring. And then he ended up going to Ottawa and being like, "This is incredible." So the reality of what took place on the ground there, if you went out and visited and saw with your primary your eyes, versus what the media was painting it as, were very different. And unfortunately, because it's based on a myth, the government chose to engage or enrage versus engage. And and then following it, they enacted the War Measures Act, rebranded the Emergencies Act, to censor people's bank accounts. Individual personalities within the movement were indefinitely detained. They confiscated, used legal tactics to lock up a lot of the donation funds that were going towards supporting the demonstration. Give, Send, Go, the faith-based crowdfunding platform, got hacked by some devilish characters, and then they released all the information of the donors to the public. And our valiant mainstream media in Canada were first to go through and analyze who all the people that donated were and start doxing people, like, oh, that guy works works on Parliament Hill, and people were getting fired as a result of it.
It's got 3 years left.
And for me, what was really kind of challenging out of this was, if you bring 1 million people to Ottawa in the heart of winter for this truly exceptional gathering with a purpose, and they used the horns, and by the end, the horns, they were trying to work with the city too, and they were trying to, they wanted to respect. They didn't want to be, real assholes to everybody in the city. And the beginning of, you don't know exactly. It's kind of coming together. But the result of, the security guards come into the zone and clear everybody out, and they got those terrible images of like that ridiculous horse trampling of the old lady, and a bunch of brutality, and those were some of the images that really stuck, because they didn't want the bouncy castle images to be what this thing was remembered. People cleared out peacefully, and it was bouncy castles and hot tubs and street hockey and fireworks and dance parties and press conferences and experts gathering together and gifting and like communal activity. That's one thing. So instead, they brought in the security guards, and they had a really ugly kind of house cleaning to it, and then they punitively went after everybody. So as Canadians, if you can't change or have a voice through a massive demonstration like that, what methods do you have towards influencing or shifting radical policy?
Yeah. Okay. So that now we're getting to the point, which is, if you take away peaceful democratic means of protest and change, you leave people with only ugly options.
Well, or we're now, when you get pushed, it's like, what are we going to do? And I feel like, the world is full of amazing innovators. And when you see this, it's like, okay, protests aren't going to work. What else can we do? Year's 2024. We have unbelievable technologies that we never had before, like like Bitcoin, crypto, blockchain, distributed ledger technology, insurance. If you look at the beginning, the Westminster system of governance, the U.S. system of governance was invented in a time when you needed representatives from specific regions to go to Washington to represent that. You didn't have a telegraph, you didn't have internet, you didn't have communications abilities. You needed a representative to go on behalf of your district, your area, your state, whatever, to go represent the interest. Well, we're still using that system like 250 years later, how many years later we are now. But the conditions have changed. We can have FaceTime, we can talk directly to somebody on the other side of the planet in high definition. Maybe we should start looking at our governance
Let's marry this one.
Yes, and how we can upgrade those. Like Russell Brand is always talking about, how do we, decentralize and allow people to have a little bit more input. In Switzerland, it's a form of direct democracy. If you, as a citizen, have an issue with something, you go get 100,000 signatures, and then the entire country will vote on it.
Yes.
And they'll be presented with a booklet that says why you should vote for this referendum, and then the government's official position why you shouldn't vote for this. And everybody gets this booklet. So it's a very informed.
We have multiple elections every year in Switzerland.
I think they have like 3 or 4.
Yes. So I haven't asked you half an hour in about your contact with your brother. So you have not just views that are different from him, but like you've thought them through. You believe him for a reason. Probably have something to add. Sounds like you do. I think you do. Did you call him at any point?
I did in the very beginning. I mean, I wanted to help out. My family's got restaurants. We got like the Clock Tower Brew Pubs in Ottawa, and you know, I thought, well, what can we do? Can we do some food service? How can we help the community towards in this, you know, this dangerous time? I wasn't really met with too much. You know, obviously he himself, I think, was also taking in so much different information, and I, you know, wanted to help. I remember one, you know, a good friend reached out with a mushroom solution that was.
You know what? Let's not make them pay for now, because we in a
never got any kind of answers.
Delicate situation. Like, we're surrounded, you know, by a bit really treacherous people. So and then let me not.
Like once the vaccine,
make my people pay for my wedding. Next thing you know, they're pissed. So,
you know, agenda became really clear. That's when I was just like, wait, hold on here. I remember, you know, Mickey Willis put out Plandemic 1 with Judy Mikovich, but then he put out Plandemic 2, Indoctrination, you know, which really detailed.
Where is this guy going?
You know, the Event 201 scenario where they basically role played how a global coronavirus pandemic should be handled by the corporatocracy in conjunction with government and media, and you know, so they role played the whole thing 2 months before or 3 months before it all went live. So I was very, like, you know, it's kind of skeptical once I started learning all that information, and I could just see that, you know, Justin, it wasn't you know, going to be there, and the opportunity for, like, you know, open discourse about this, I don't think he wasn't really interested in my points of view on this topic.
Was he angry at you for expressing yours?
I'm being raided, bro.
I don't know. I mean, I hopefully in his heart of heart, like, he's proud of being open and honest and speaking your truth.
Yes.
I think this is critical. I think, you know, like, this is the path forward, and it's also big admitting, like, you know, when when you're wrong.
That's the acid test right there. Can you admit when you were wrong?
Can you admit when you're wrong?
That's right.
Like, you know, and you know,
bro,
apologizing, but also like it's like with our children. It's like, you know, they'll say I'm sorry, but they don't necessarily know why they're sorry sometimes. Like, if they hit, and I'm sorry for hitting you. That's what. Or for doing this, but explaining to really understand what the problem was, and, like, you know, there's this kind of, you know, this healing modality that needs to be embraced going forward. Like, are you familiar with the Hawaiian healing phrase Ho'oponopono?
No.
Oh, it's beautiful. So it's a Hawaiian healing prayer that's comprised of 4 lines. I'm sorry, please forgive me, I'm grateful or thankful, and I love you. And you can say these 4 lines to yourself first, and, like, you know, apologize to yourself for those things that you did. Find place to forgive yourself for the things that you did.
I'm not paying him.
Be grateful and thankful to yourself, and also love yourself. Gift. Like, you know, really critical. But then you can also use this with other people. So I say this to my mother, because I know, like, you know, what I was doing was
this guy just raided my place,
was causing energy. So, you know, and I said to Justin, too,
I effectively send him back to where he came from.
I'm sorry for any harm that
I don't really need to send him a gift, bro.
Negatively impacted your life. Please forgive me. I'm just trying to speak my truth and do what I think is right.
You don't really need to send my man.
I know that I'm thankful and grateful for everything, all the lessons, all the learnings, all the interactions, and that I love you, like, in my heart of hearts. And this Ho'oponopono message is something that I think we can take out there, and you can really heal a lot. And we live in a very divided civilization right now, more than just a country. Like, in America, it's very divided. And this is one of Bobby's messages, like, how do we heal the divide? How do we bring people together? Because we've been so polarized, and it's easy to, and, like, you know, and I feel like it's by design. It's divide and conquer.
Of
you
course.
People just like, how many different identity buckets can you get them in? And then when they're all fighting each other, it's like, you know, it's easy to control. versus like if we can actually heal and start working together and having open, honest discourse and respecting the differences of opinion that we all might have and share. But it's imperative that we're able to have open, honest discussion without being able to retreat or censor or attack or smear or guilt by association or use single words like conspiracy theory to just dismiss very valid points that require investigation.
Right. I mean, you have to be honest enough to assess things on their own terms. Even if something you don't want to hear, the first question you have to ask, it's your moral obligation to ask, is it true? Is it true? You say to me, you're a bad driver. Well, I don't want to be a bad driver, but I have to ask myself, like, am I a bad driver? Right?
Right.
I didn't mean to.
So you mentioned apologizing to your mom, who I should say for people who aren't Canadian is like a very famous person in Canada, of course. Margaret Trudeau, famous.
Amazing. Love you, Mama.
What, I mean, what's her view of all this stuff? Got two sons on different sides.
I think she is very proud of Justin and all that.
Yeah, is that my cousin?
So, and I think I've always been, a little bit on the outside. Let's say
that's my cousin,
a little bit with the questions and the topics of discussions and the debates that I would like to engage in.
Like about what?
About many different things. About you had Ron Paul on here.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the lessons of the good doctor, like the Federal Reserve, looking at that, looking at blowback, looking at foreign policy, engagement. Like right now, Canada, Justin said repeatedly, we're in this till the end, until victory. It's like, come on, what does that look like? How can we do that?
What does that even mean?
What exactly? It never ends. Like, what is the condition? Why aren't we until the victory? How about peace? How about diplomacy? How like the war, like pushing for war? Very, very dangerous, especially with our neighbors. Like Russia is a neighbor to Canada. It's right there.
Yeah.
It's like why we don't want to even. What's the point of this?
Do you know the answer? I don't know the answer. What do you think the answer is? What is the point?
Well, I think it's a global proxy war for the corporatocracy to further transfer wealth from sovereign individuals into the coffers of the corporation.
Wait, let me go to
I think that's a good guess.
Cool.
I mean, it's like Henry Perkins, like he wrote the Confessions of an Economic Hitman. Kind of shows like when we're giving $80 million or $80 billion in US dollars or whatever the number is to Ukraine. Like, you think that money is like a pallet's going to Ukraine? Like, no. Here's money for you to spend on our things.
So, you've made reference to prayer, and you've sort of revealed a worldview that is spiritual on some level. Canada seems very aggressively hostile to Christianity, for example, and spirituality. And that seems like a new thing. All these church burnings, for example, take place across the country.
It's
all
right,
government officials, including your brother, seem to not have a problem with that. What's your view of the role of spirituality and what's happening right now?
Well, there were a lot of pastors too who stood up.
Yes,
went to jail, and who were subjugated and punished.
So if you're cheering church burnings and throwing pastors in jail, like, what side are you on?
What do you think?
I think you're on Satan's team, honestly. That's what I actually think, since you asked.
Cool. We got some allies now.
It feels like there's some dark energies out there. There's like I akin it to like
there's no way this guy
is a negative cloud taking.
You got to send back to it.
Bad energy, bad juju going on. Like when my wife Brittany and I were in Canada in 2020, she was pregnant. She got chased out of a grocery store.
Why?
Not wearing a mask. She was super pregnant, and we were defiant around all of that stuff. I was just not having it. And but for people to get to that level of animosity and hate towards someone for not kind of complying, it's really scary that it got to that state. And
chasing a pregnant lady out of a grocery store?
Chasing a pregnant lady out of a grocery store. Triggering a miscarriage.
What?
That's just absolutely beyond.
No, it's horrible.
So did you grow up in Ottawa?
I did.
So it really is your country, and I can tell by the way you
I
say
grew up
the
in
word
Ottawa.
out.
I've been all over Canada. Been all around. Canadians far and wide are amazing people.
I agree with that.
Beautiful country, just like America. I mean, I've been so blessed to be all over America, and like, you know, and for the last 8 months, I've been driving my Kennedy bus all over America too, which has been just an absolutely unbelievable experience. And you know, really meeting people where they're at. And I'll just say, like, you know, I've been all over the world too, and people everywhere are generally good. And it's like there's good, beautiful hearts all over. Yeah, there's bad people out there. There's some people that like seek to deceive and cause chaos and like, quite frankly be evil. But you know, I personally just have to do the best I can.
These men at some point they're gonna try to come for me, so
and speak truth.
I need to be very careful.
You know, yeah, do the best you can. Be impeccable with your words. Don't make assumptions. Don't take things personally. Always do your best. For agreements.
Amen. So the reason I asked you, just to confirm, you grew up in Canada, and then you get to, you know, 30 years later, your pregnant wife is being chased out of a grocery store. Like, how did that happen? How did we? Because it didn't just. I mean, it came to a head during COVID and the trucker protest, but these things build over years. Did you see it coming? Did you know that the country was changing from a free place to a totalitarian place or a mob rules
Brother
place?
and rival. You see them things there. That's why, bro. Let me just get my alliances ready, because I know one of my
there's
brother,
definitely
my cousins,
warning
they're gonna
signs.
come from, man. Or if it's not them, it's gonna be one of them.
Like my trust in
and think
the
about
media,
we don't
especially
have,
the Canadian media, like
we don't have
the
that
American
much land
media,
like that. You know what I'm saying?
Especially yourself, but the Canadian media is like kind of like a special type of
he's cool,
hypnotic, deceptive. Like there isn't so much like a real left right. It's kind of all just the same melange of like, you know, here's what you believe.
It's cool or whatnot.
You know, you should think, and
a
lot of what should be objective reporting is presented with
yeah, he's cool.
Careful subjectivity.
It sort of marinates in propaganda. I remember seeing
wait.
Hockey Night in Canada.
He's the one that be pissing off people, bro.
Really struck, not just by the high level of play on the ice, but by the propaganda slogans everywhere around the rink. It had nothing to do with selling anything. It was selling ideas about Canada, and I thought, wow, that's like
ambitious.
1984 stuff.
And then look, like when the COVID scenario took place too.
Is it my man that tried to fucking
kill
someone?
Hockey. Like, you don't shut down the gladiator sports. You need to keep people still doing that. So they just enacted the bubbles, and then, you know, and then they spin in all of a sudden like the you know, the propaganda influence starts getting through and through into the sport, which is already there, but it becomes a little bit more in your face. And you know, people
I could expose him still, but
there's no fans
I don't want to do that
in the stadiums here. It was like
he already doesn't like
they kept playing.
Minus 100%
of could still have their sport,
opinion,
still have their entertainment there.
I did that.
How did you wind up?
Thinking I tried to do something dumb. So see,
I mean, I learned a lot from Justin. I learned a lot from my brother Sash, and I learned a lot from my late brother Michelle.
He's got
from my father, and from my mother, and from my friends, and through experiences.
What?
And through travels. And
I'm not gonna blackmail him now because he hasn't done nothing wrong. But if this guy does a madness, I'm not gonna lie to you.
And you know, just getting out there and experiencing all sorts of different things, and keeping kind of an open mind. That's, you know, how I've gotten to the point where I am right now.
Huh. Can you name like a certain set of experiences that made you so different?
I mean, like, you know, being involved with the Ron Paul stuff back in the day, like listening to that, you know, to the crypto industry and participating, which was in the beginning, which was a lot of like libertarians, you know, coming together, looking at, you know, how do we solve for the Federal Reserve? How do we solve for, decentralized peer-to-peer electronic cash, which
Yes.
was Satoshi Nakamoto's vision. And then, just being immersed within that group of people was, very enlightening and very educational. And then, there was a certain point in 2015, 2016 that a lot of the Burning Man kind of community started getting really into this space too. So, and there was cross-pollination of information, and a lot of the principles out of that were very eye-opening as well. And I've spent a lot of time in California as well, and coming from Ottawa, which is I'd say it's a conservative city. It's a government town, but it's a conservative.
This world is full of dangers, even to
as an entrepreneur, as an innovator, there, and as a creative.
After recommendation,
a lot of times,
option to choose from.
The first reaction is to say no to an idea. No, that's not going to work.
Goto seems enthusiastic.
You go to California, and being in these very innovative kind of environments, and the action is yes, here's how we can do it, and it's kind of the American spirit, right? Yes, we can. Let's build, let's create, and let's challenge, and not just believe that you can't do something because it might not work. It's you got to open yourself up to some vulnerability and try, because you're never gonna succeed if you don't try. So at least try. It's like Bobby, he's freaking doing it. Going for the presidency. You show so much courage doing that, I'm behind you as well. Let's try this. We don't know what's going to happen. People will tell you they know what's going to happen. Nobody knows what's going to happen.
That's true.
So why not give it your best? And it's and recognize that you don't like the status. It's like Switzerland. You don't like that law? Guess what? Get up, go out, get 100,000 signatures, and then everybody votes on it.
Is there any chance that happens in Canada?
There's no recourse, and this was one of the issues out of the trucker thing is what can you do? Can you have a referendum? To do a referendum, and many people looked into it, you need a support of a sitting MP, and many of them aren't kind of willing to do that. So there's no direct ability to.
From the quiet of night to the flicker of first light, unfolding gently, a promise of beauty.
Participate. And Justin, said, if you wanna make a difference, if you don't like these policies, well, get out and vote. Get out and vote. And that's how you can show it. It's going out every 4 years or 5 years in the case of Canada, or 2, I don't know, it kind of switches up all the time. But going out and making one mark on a piece of paper and declaring that democracy, I just think that's a little bit short-sighted. It's not really civic engagement.
Could you ever imagine moving back there?
Yeah. I think Canada can win a Stanley Cup at one point, too. Just need to fix the tax system.
Would that be an inducement to move back?
Ooh, yeah, it's fucking
the tax system.
No, the Stanley Cup.
No, I think if the tax system were fixed, that would be, a great inducement for many people to move back to Canada. The current system encourages successful people to leave, to offshore their money. It's not
10 years.
a culture of celebrating achievement and value creation.
No, it's a culture of crushing the different.
Yeah, and taxing. And,
let me just collect tax, bro. 10 years is a bit steep.
Rules, and more laws, regulations, bylaw, provincial, federal. Just keep on adding. And there's a challenge in repealing these or cleaning it up. So I feel like we're at the point where what can you do? And like I mentioned before, the systems have changed. So I think it's time for an open conversation about how things can change. And like I said, Pierre Poilievre came to this conference that I held in Ottawa and talked about Switzerland and how referendums happen there and how blockchain could be able to use that. Well, I would love to see him, expand more on that and to explore in Canada how we can have a more involved population when it comes to being integrated in decisions, because the way the party system works is like they've got the whip. That word goes back a ways. They use their whip, and all people within the party just have to vote according to the party's dictate, and that doesn't represent the people. Like
if I do that, that might help me because I got a link in Argon.
So many politicians get elected as representatives for a given space on certain promises, but then there's no accountability to uphold those promises. And if you don't follow through with them, there's nothing you can do. Technically, in the States, there's a recall process. In Canada, there really isn't a recall.
Do you think your brother will get reelected?
I don't think he wants to, but...
You don't think he wants to get reelected?
I mean, personally, I don't know. I just think some of the latest stuff, and it's just really sad. Like, it's not a way to live. When I'm out here fighting for freedom and, speaking for freedom and liberty, well, Justin is not a free man.
100% control. That's what
he
I like
has...
to see. That's what I like to see.
They just showed him trying to go to an event a couple days ago, and there were probably like 50 cops, as his escort, because Canadians are pissed off. It's angry out there, folks. It's not a good look. You can't drive a car. Like, he can't go to a restaurant. Like, you make a big sacrifice when you enter into that public arena. And and he has entered that public arena. In the beginning, it was all sunshine and
just
and
organize
rainbows.
them for
But
now.
now it's dark, and there's a lot of negative energy. And to all the people that really are putting that negative energy on Justin,
this guy, I
just recognize Justin's like the captain of the hockey team. He's not the manager of it. He's not the owner of it.
Who do you think the owner is?
Who do you think the owner is?
I don't know.
You have a pretty good idea.
I'm replacing that nigga,
I
bro.
personally think there's a spiritual component to all of this. So there's maybe the supreme leader of it.
Wait,
but,
is that the brother that tried
assume
to kill
business
someone
interests
as well? Hold on.
Business interest? Yeah. I use the word the corporatocracy.
Yeah.
Like, their
Hold on.
their profits, come from, you look at the pharmaceutical industry, and the profits reaped out of, the COVID scenario. It's just one example.
That's the nigga that tried to kill someone.
Industrial complex.
He can't be my
money
counsel no
and the
more.
profits
Hold on.
reaped out of
You can't
war.
be my counsel no
And
more, bro.
You can,
But Canada's gotten so much poorer. I didn't
Can't
go
be
for
my
a few years
counsel
because
no
of
more,
COVID,
bro.
and
I'm
we were just
sorry.
here this winter. And it's a
Fernando's
poorer
gonna
country.
be my
It's just
counsel.
much more expensive,
Right.
and people's standard of living is dropping. I think
This
that's fair to
brother,
say, right?
I don't trust
So
him,
how
man.
could well, it's also true in the United States.
Let me see his ties.
How
He's got
could
ties
leaders,
there,
when their
ties
own
there.
country's getting poorer, send all
Ties
this
there,
money to a
ties there.
war across the world that has no benefit to them at all?
that's a great question for them.
Yeah.
Why are you doing this? What are you doing for Canadians? Well, we're gonna create a new food program, or we're gonna create more programs. But look at root spending, folks, and look at the taxation situation.
My cousin is on board with it, bro.
You're getting taxed on the money that you're being taxed on. What you have left.
See, my cousin
is
came
very
true,
little,
bro.
and then you look at the cost of housing, the cost of living. It's unsustainable. And then there's also a culture. I saw an article, it's kind of explaining wow, there's over 100,000 people in the government making more than $100,000 a year. And it's well, I mean, when you factor in inflation, $100,000 is not what it used to be. You're basically, if you've got a family, you're not thriving at $100,000 a year. And same in America. And they want to, and has spent a lot of time working in the financial industry too. It used to be remember the $10,000? You have more than $10,000 in cash? Well, it's been that way for 50 years. $10,000 in cash. And now they're trying to bring it down to even lower numbers. Anytime there's a transaction over $600, they want to know, which is really dangerous. So, when you have this financial oversight combined with the fact that people don't have any money, and then then there's also this element. There's like a UBI kind of gentle play that was kind of introduced as well with
universal basic income.
The checks were written in Canada for like $4,000 for every Canadian.
But they're trying to make people lose their jobs so they can force them to do something by paying them a monthly wage that
it's
they
not like
can't
there's like a
avoid
request.
getting every month
When people like
because
who are
their
like
job is not
desperately
enough. It's
needing
like, bro,
help have a way to ask for help. Now it's just like really blanket welfare, really ineffective system, and ultimately it is going to drive more inflation, which will drive higher costs for everybody.
Well, it's quite effective that way.
Yeah.
If you want to make people totally dependent on the people in power, that's what you do.
Right.
For real.
So you said you think your brother wants to get out. My final question, what do you think he will do when he gets out? And what do you think he should do when he gets out?
I mean, if you think about like what did like Bill Clinton do when he got out, it's like you go on speaking tour and like, go sit on boards and do things like that. And, you probably do that. I think there's he's got to ultimately decide what he's going to do. I would say start with Ho'oponopono. Like that's a good place to start. Right?
With the Hawaiian prayer.
With the Hawaiian prayer.
Say you're sorry.
Say you're sorry. Apologize. Ask for forgiveness. But tell people why you're sorry too. Come clean. Like, there's stuff. I'm sure there's some stuff. Like, just repent, if you will, and move forward in a.
What's that? I'm sway my man. I'm gonna sway the Duke.
Do the best you can because
this guy because
this
I don't trust him.
This is this life that we have to live, and let's respect our children, our grandchildren, our parents, our elders, our ancestors. Carry the flame.
Amen. Kyle, thank you.
Tucker, thank you.
Free speech is bigger than any one person or any one organization. Societies are defined by what they will not permit. What we're watching is the total inversion of virtue.
Come back.
Hey, it's Tucker Carlson. The internet is crowded with interesting things that don't really matter. On TCN, we attempt to bring you interesting things that actually do matter, and a lot of them. Interviews, long form and short, videos, documentaries. You can find all of it on tuckercarlson.com, and we hope you will.
The RHS presents the greatest show in Earth. 5 incredible gardens, staging nature's most epic production, where a cast of thousands puts on an unforgettable 5-star one-off performance every single time. Get tickets to an RHS garden near you and be part of the greatest show in Earth.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Do you usually start with a track, or do you, how does writing work for you?
It varies. Usually time me and the boys get in the studio and I can just go off a simple drum loop that I like. My process, it starts from just a whole bunch of premeditated thoughts. The process of me thinking about the ideas and what I want to say next. And by the time I get into the studio, I have to find that exact sound that triggered the emotion or the idea that I thought about 2 months ago.
Would you have more than one of those going on at the same time? Might you have 6 of those before you go into the studio, or do you do them one at a time?
Doing one at a time. One at a time.
So the concept will come, you'll sort of live with it and let it grow in you.
Yeah.
You make notes.
Definitely, all the time. I have to make notes because a lot of my inspiration comes from meeting people or going outside of the country or going around the corner to my old neighborhood, talking to a 5-year-old little boy. And I have to remember these things. I have to write them down, and then 5 or 3 months later, I have to find that same emotion that I felt when I was inspired by it. So I had to dig all the way deep and see what were the things that triggered the idea.
Does it always come back?
It comes back. It comes back. It comes because I have key little words that make me realize the exact motion and what drew the inspiration. Yeah, man. Definitely. It's a process. It's a working process. I'm my worst critic. For sure.
Tell me about that a little bit. You're critical of you just want it to be really good.
Yeah, it's really about me challenging myself. I think my excitement in doing music is me feeling like I'm never stagnant, me feeling like I didn't get comfortable in my own skin of what I think is good or what someone else thinks is good. Stepping outside of my comfort zone and mastering it. And that excites me when I feel like I've accomplished that. It just keeps the hunger for more going. Like I don't feel like I can ever stop.
For a tasty and crispy break, this is my good choice. WATTBA, pure goodness.
Do you ever consider, so when you think about the challenge to yourself, do you ever consider the listener?
It's hot in here, isn't it?
Like the audience at all, or is it more like just self-expression?
I used to consider the listener, and now I'm in a space where I'm not.
Guys, it's so fucking hot today. Like, that's why I'm streaming. I'm at top today. It's so hot.
Enough hours of work to be able to pin 100 bars.
Summer's on the way. I might have to take off my socks too, because boy.
But for me to actually feel an idea and a concept, it has to come from me. And a lot of times I have to block out a lot of different needs and wants, just for my own selfish reasons. But at the end of the day, it comes out where, whether you like it or not, you know you're gonna know it comes from a real place. And it's gonna feel.
Hey, where's that song? The latest song I'm dropping. Where is it? I think it's this one. I'm finna drop that one. I'm dropping this song this month. In 2 weeks, I think. Let me check the date. 24th of May, we're dropping this song. Take it in.
Take time, take time, take time.
Oh wait, did my man finish?
Fine girl, take your time, take your time. Hey, fine girl, take your time, take your time. Move your waistline, move your waistline.
Shit, I'm gonna stop that one for now.
Move your waistline.
We're gonna sway this brother, cause he's not trustworthy.
I'ma tell you the truth. I know you love me, proof. I'm a girl, I love you too.
It's got 50%, 57% chance of working. That's not good.
Baby girl, what to do? Baby girl, what to do?
That's not good numbers.
I gotta keep a few. I gotta keep a few. Draw some shapes in your waistline. Move it in circle. Draw some shapes for your waistline. Make me a triangle. Draw some shapes in your waistline. Move it in circle. 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 Hey. Move it in circle. Are you gonna save it for me? Are you gonna keep it for me? If you keep it, are you gonna keep it for me? If you keep it,
listen, why did you, bro? If you don't know, you don't know.
If I get it, are you gonna save it for me? If I get it, are you gonna
I'm not
keep
gonna
it for me?
sway him right now.
Are you gonna keep it for me? If you keep it, draw some shapes in your waistline. Move it in circle. Draw some shapes in your waistline. Give me a triangle. Draw some shapes in your waistline.
But if I blackmail him, he might try murder me now. You know what I'm saying? Let me just leave him alone for now. Let me go to my council.
You know when you move like that, you make me horny. When I see big bunda, I like to catch body. I like it wet, wetty like tsunami. Your pussy picky, picky Benz Bonani. Put cock in your hole, now you want me. Put body pump, body now sit on me. Me, I go fuck you good, make you check on me. Baby, you checking my story. To your waistline, baby, in circle.
100 gold. I'm not paying this brother 100 gold. That's a lot.
To your waistline, baby, in circle, circle, circle. Baby, in circle.
I reload there. Holy. May 24th. Make sure you lock in. May 24th, we dropping this song called Geometry Class. Make sure you lock in still. YouTube, Twitch. I need to start streaming on X as well, formerly known as Twitter.
Fine girl, take your time. Hey, fine girl, take your time. Move your waistline. Move your waistline. I'ma tell you the truth. I know you love me, boo. I mean, girl, I love you too. But I gotta keep a few. Baby girl, what to do? Baby girl, what to do? I'ma tell you the truth. I gotta keep a few. Draw some shapes to your waistline. Baby, in circle. Draw some shapes to your waistline. Make me a triangle. Draw some shapes to your waistline. Baby, in circle. Hey, maybe in circle. Are you gon' save it for me? Are you gon' keep it for me? If you keep it, are you gon' keep it for me? If you keep it, are you gon' save it to me? If I get it, are you gon' save it for me? If I get it, are you gon' keep it for me? Are you gon' keep it for me? If you keep it,
what did my chancellor do, bro?
Draw some shapes to your
What the fuck did this guy want to...
Move it in circle. Draw some shapes to your waistline.
Him!
Give me a triangle. Draw some shapes to your waistline. Move it in circle.
What did he do, fam?
Draw some shapes to your waistline. Make me a triangle. You know when you move like that, you make me horny. When I see big bunda, I like to catch body. I like it wetty like tsunami. Your pussy picky Benz banana. Put cock in your hole, now you want me. Put body pump, body now sit on me. Me, I go fuck you good, make you check on me.
52, bro. What the fuck
my
are you up
story.
to,
To your waistline.
Bro, I might have his son replace him, bro. How do you like that in the realm, fam? Are you
To
crazy?
your waistline.
He's lucky he's got like some character. He's got skills, bro. I don't understand.
Move it in circle.
Like, the promise is good.
Circle. Move it in circle.
But he gets minus one because he's lazy. Oh, for fuck's sake, bro. Hold on. See if I can replace this nigga, bro. I don't think I got. I don't even think I got a better nigga than he, bro. Shit. God damn. I have to do with him, man. I'm have to deal with his bullshit right now, bro. I can't believe it. Foreign, you know what? Keep it domestic for now, yeah. Keep it domestic. We're not gonna send you to any other county because you don't fucked up with my brother. You don't even fuck with me already, and now you just send me a letter cussing me out, bro. Are you fucking nuts? This nigga just sent me a letter cussing me out. Fuck, you know. You're gonna deal with him in a minute because he's my brother. I don't trust him, but I don't trust this nigga right here either. So, Nino, you're gonna have to deal with Nino first. Once we deal with Nino, we can move on. Let me play another unreleased.
on it, comme ça. Stroke on it, comme ça. Choke on it, comme ça. Swallow it, comme ça. Choke on it, comme ça. Choke comme ça. Stroke comme ça. Swallow it, comme ça. Baby girl, she's so sexy. Baby girl, you know chat back. Pussy boy, she not like that. Chilling loose girl, she not like that. Big black man, yeah, you like that. Play anti-cocaine, yeah, you like that. Set up girl, she not like that. She a little Gaza, yeah, I like that. Pussy explosive like Baghdad. For her boom boom, she want one man. She singing one man. Your pussy no dry, it's not like Chad. Looking up to this girl, she wanna act bad. Said I'm city boy, but she wanna ride man. One man. She knows get tell, she not like that.
You know what? Yeah, I need to take over these man. Yeah, because they're at peace. Okay, they're not at war.
Choke on it, comme ça. Stroke on it, comme ça. Choke on it, comme ça. Swallow it, comme ça. Choke on it, comme ça. Choke comme ça. Stroke comme ça. Swallow it, comme ça.
They're at peace in it, but I don't trust it in it. These men are at peace as well in it, but I don't trust it. Anytime, oh wait, what? They're actually at war right now. Holy, see, it's popping off. It's popping off. And I don't really trust these men like that, bro. So it's popping off. I knew it was gonna. I knew it was coming. So I'm not surprised, but these guys better keep it to the south. Don't come up north with that bullshit, man. Baby girl, she's so sexy. Baby girl, you know chat back. Pussy girl, you know like that. Chilling with loose girl, she not like that. Plenty cocaine, yeah, you like that. Yeah, you like that. Set up girl, she not like that. She a little Gaza, yeah, I like that. Pussy explosive like Baghdad. For her pum pum, she want one man. She singing one man. Your pussy no dry, it's not like Chad. Looking up to these girls, she wanna act bad. Hey, I like this song. This is my boy's song. I like this song too.
Chiquita stay plenty, but you know they I'm empty. Living my life is stress free. Looking there live, I'm sexy. Baby fine, she sexy. You get to my number, text me. Make sure it's after the club, please. I go take you to your yard for blessings.
All day, we get fancy, relax and pray. Come to the party just for your sake. You looking at me like I'm your babe. Not your boy with the chop arms away. Love how you looking, stay right in my face. Cooking out with my guys, there's no delay. Round up the club, we be thinking kilo shame.
She feeling the boy, I dey feel her, yeah. Drop and low, make her feel her, yeah. The killer with the wine, if I go cure. I get to your fever that you can cure.
She feeling the boy, I dey feel her, yeah. Drop and low, make her feel her, yeah. The killer with the wine, if I go cure. She riding me slow, make me bust for sure. Riding me slow, make me bust for sure. Take time with me, baby, just go low. Loving your waist, why you stand to my soul. Make her touch her toes, I'ma bust it down low. Bust it down low.
She feeling the boy, I dey feel her, yeah. Drop and low, make her feel her, yeah. The killer with the wine, if I go cure. I get to your fever that you can cure.
She feeling the boy, I dey feel her, yeah. Drop and low, make her feel her, yeah. The killer with the wine, if I go cure. She riding me slow, make me bust for sure.
Looking at her, I'm sexy, girl. Baby, mind, she's sexy. Get to my
can demand payment for hooks. No. Levy reinforcement rate plus 100%. Building construction time. What about that one? You can use the claim from scheme against your liege. Bro, if war is coming soon, I'm definitely gonna need that. So they might not already warring in the wait. My man got 0 in fucking intrigue. Fucking hell, that's terrible. I mean, he's not really a cunning person, like. Shape up is looking sharp. I ain't even shaped it up yet.
Sissy girl, she wanna know me. Yeah, check it. Sissy girl, yeah, she wanna know me. Sissy girl, yeah, she want piece of me. Sissy girl, yeah, she wanna know 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 me. Balage en midi en toute manière. Ballon il a qu'à faire manière. Push it in, baby papa d'ailleurs. Give me clocky, baby papa d'ailleurs. Little vibe, my little yeah. Baby, parfait manière. Jump up and down la belle. She could be my boo. Before she get the title, I could be your idol. If you wanna be my boo, tell me what you can do. Do you wanna go round? Your pussy when I title, your pussy bless a Bible. Says you wanna find love, says you wanna find love, says you wanna find love, says you wanna find love. Says she wanna find Sissy girl, yeah, she wanna know me. Sissy girl, yeah, she want piece of me. Sissy girl, yeah, she wanna know me. Sissy girl, yeah, she wanna know me. Sissy girl, yeah, she wanna know me. Sissy girl, yeah, she want piece of me.
I never expected I would grow as
Sissy girl, yeah, she wanna know me.
As far as I've done in the past few years.
Sissy girl, yeah, she wanna know me. Sissy girl, yeah, she wanna know me.
It is brother. House after seed. You become friends. How about that? You know what? Let's run up the friendship, bro. I don't trust him at all, but Count Diego, yeah, nigga. You better rethink twice about you hating me. Why was this nigga? Oh wait, that's the wrong person. I was thinking, wait, what? Oh, the spy master. Yeah, we need the spy master on our side. To be honest, you don't want your spy to be working against you, bro. That's not what you want. So keep him in good faith. But who did I just become friends with? Yeah, my man, innit? Okay. So remember I was saying we need the South. So I got my man. He's already with me. He's kind of cool with man. I got my man here. I got some links here too. Through my cousin. My brother right here, he don't fuck with me, but he's surrounded by everyone, so I don't think he's gonna make a move yet. Oh no, it's this one. Yeah, this one don't fuck with man. What's this one? Oh, this one, another one of my brothers. He don't fuck with me either, but I got this land that they're fucking with me right now. Like, I might even send him a gift. Hold on. Let's send him a gift, bro. No, fuck it. Let's send him a gift, bro. Cause you never know, like, I don't really. I know he's friends with me, but I don't really trust him, cause them man, they're Muslim, innit? We don't have the same faith. They have another culture, and these man right there, they're Muslim too, and they're already beefing. So let's just keep him appeased. And also, I have the Welsh on my side too. Wait. I mean, I have an alliance with them through man's wife, but no, actually no, it's not even the Welsh. It's the fucking the Franconians, isn't it? Let me go to his dad, to her dad, sorry. Yeah, these man up here, they fuck with me too. So, granted, they're a bit small, but they're part of the Holy Roman Empire. So, I got some ties, you know. Man's got a few ties there. So yeah, we send a gift to my man. You know what? Can I learn his language as well? Let me learn the language too, because that's gonna help, man. That's a scheme. 6 years. Learn the Berber language. Berber. She's 6 years. That's gonna take a while, so I'm not even gonna do that right now. My man doesn't even have an heir yet, bro. Broski, fam. This guy doesn't even have a youth yet, fam. She said the wife is just turned 18, but bro, you need to get active, fam. What language does she speak? High German. I'm not learning German, bro. I'm not learning German, bro. What the fuck? I am not learning German. Romance. But I have to stop my other scheme. Alright, this one. That's the hair color. Hold on, that's what I want to do. Hold on. You know what? Let's just run it. I need to pee. Hold on, guys. Let's have a tune. Let me play a tune also.
Yeah, I put my hand on my heart, one finger way too attached. I feel like AJ, I don't ever miss a drop. You know I never missed a pack. I'm a little mellow on the strip, serving Constance digital dash. Gelato the runs, it came in a pack. I'm a little husky, you know that's my dog. He got a hash loaded in a bag. Didn't need love, seen from the drop. You were singing like Return of the Mac. One song, nigga, couldn't be that mad. There's no instruction how to move these packs. There's no introduction, they know who I am. I got a hold on my back, something ain't right. Feel like Miley Island in attack. I feel a genre brewing in the mist. I can feel karma blowing in the wind. I'm attached, A-list ting, I left her on red. But to my bro, I ain't texting back. Bitch, I like you been here before. Please just keep your composure. Don't get too attached. Got you the bag, the swag, it came with a strap. I might just split the cash, then I'll go run it up back. Attachments, Attachments, yeah. Attachments. Sure you wanna talk high fashion. I just wanna get so active. Attitude bad, she a bad bitch, yeah, bitch, yeah, bitch, yeah. Attachments, 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 yeah. Attachments. Sure you wanna talk high fashion. I just wanna get so active. Attachments, yeah. Attachments, 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 yeah. Attachments, attachments, yeah. Little baby, she way too attached. She can't let go. I hear moving, I'll be right back. Then she's on my soul, the baby on go. We on the road, so tight if you know, you know. Attachments, attachments. What do you see in me? I know that it's not the cash, and I hear your family saying this boy is a hell of a catch. You see potential in me. I know you want digital cash, baby. I'm your man, you see. Still good nash, my made me crash. Attachments, attachments, yeah. Attachments, attachments, yeah.
Wait, I didn't even share the stream.
Sure you wanna show high fashion. I just wanna get so active. Attitude
Back your bad bitch, yeah.
Attachments, 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 yeah. Attachments. Sure you wanna talk high fashion. I just wanna get so active. Attachments, yeah. Attachments.
Wait, Count Diego? I'm still swaying this guy, bro. My ward Mourinho has come of age, and it's time he left my care. For the longest time, I was hoping that good cheer would be enough to cheat the insecure. Or if I've come to know, however, a few would be impressed by his understanding of the subject, but he has at least developed a sound grasp of the basic of management and the beginnings of a sensible frugality. Okay, my ward has learned his lesson. You know what, yeah? Who lives there? Nino the second. Nino the second is cool, bro. It's Nino, this one that I don't. Wait, what? It's this brother that I don't trust one bit, bro. So, can I request claim? Nah, man, I can't. Can you do a arranged marriage? This guy's not going for it. Hold on. Sway. How long will it take me to sway? Just, you know what? Let's try it, bro. You know what? Let's fucking try it. Hey, what's going on here? Oh, these lot are getting raided, bro. Not gonna lie though. I got 900 levies. Got like 100 knights. Wait, what's these guys? Caballeros. Oh, we got a few caballeros already. We got the horse, and we need the bowman. Right, I need some bows and arrows, you know what I'm saying? On standby. So I'm just gonna let that run. Attachments, yeah. Any other songs I know about? No.
This morning, police made dozens of arrests at both the new school and at NYU. And just within the last hour, another group of demonstrators began gathering at NYU. Eyewitness News reporter Jan.
So recently, protesters took over every major college here in New York City. And although there were mass arrests and riot police, there's still pockets of protest activity. And observers say this could be the new normal here for a long time.
We begin with the breaking news. A massive show of force to crack down on college campuses in New York City. The NYPD moving in huge machinery.
The NYPD says it received a letter from the university asking police to move in after pro-Palestinian demonstrators refused to leave on their own.
About 282 people were arrested.
We are going to stay here. We are okay with the possibility of mass arrest. We are okay with the possibility of suspension.
I spend my time, I spend my money to get here, to pay for the tuition and everything, and they just cancel my class for no reason.
Cops made their way through campus in riot gear last night as they attempted to disperse protesters.
Just a short time later, officers entered the new school, where pro-Palestinian protesters have been set up for the last 12 days.
This Palestine-Israel thing is driving the world crazy, bro.
Schools say they called in the NYPD because of growing safety concerns and disruption.
We're here to peacefully protest against the genocide. As protests continue to
1070
escalate across
AD.
campuses, many leaders believe they've gone too far.
You see, France, yeah? They're a bit too big, bro. I don't trust it, fam.
So recently, a historic war memorial
I don't
was
trust it,
vandalized by
fam.
peaceful
These men are
protesters. And what nobody's
King
talking about
Philip
is that
of
although at
France.
first these movements look like
18.
organic showing of support
Yeah,
for
nah. You
Palestine,
see
when
these
historic
men, yeah? I
statues
don't
and
trust
monuments
them
start getting
at
vandalized, it shows there are anti-American undertones to all this. In fact, things were so crazy, the NYPD was forced to clear protesters from occupied buildings with a military-style vehicle called the Bear. On top of that, the police say half the protesters arrested at two of the largest uprisings weren't even students at Columbia or City College, which means whatever's behind these demonstrations is much bigger than anyone is actually aware of. And it also means there's money behind these imported
I need a fucking
who weren't there for free. For example, a student protester already pays room and board and gets fed by their college while
If you
they
decide
protest.
to
But if you're not a
bug out
student,
now,
you've
actually,
got
I
to pay to
won't be
come
the
here,
first
you got
one.
to pay to feed yourself, and you have to be able to
There'll
exist
be a
for as
couple
long as the
people in
protest
the
takes
way.
place, meaning you need some
I
type
have
of
my
job where you can just
friend
dip
right
out
there,
for
you know
a
what I'm
week.
saying?
But the real reason these
We
protests
chilling,
are
bro.
happening is because even though the situation in Gaza is a legitimate humanitarian
Look at
crisis,
this, yo.
these protesters are upset that their schools don't think the same way about Israel that they do. And many of these protesters feel that their schools are part of the problem and part of the reason why Israel has so much support. And these demonstrations, these have really punished these colleges, and they've lost the one thing that they may need to survive in the future. Because when you've got endless protests, school administrators have no idea how to deal with. Some people are asking themselves if the $90,000 tuition at some of these places is actually worth it. After all, what's the purpose of going hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt if your graduation might be canceled and if your final exams are given under the umbrella of rioting, chanting, and drum beats? Instigated by people who don't even attend the school you're paying to go to. Is that really worth it? To answer that question, we're going to uncover what happened, why it happened, and what's stopping it from happening again in the future, which, to be honest with you, doesn't look like a whole lot.
We don't need to take over no territories right now, you know what I'm saying? Unless it's this. What is this?
Between Columbia and City College. Well, now the big focus, they say, is to be able to distinguish who are students and who, in fact, were not supposed to be there. And the mayor and police commissioner went on to say that it's really a combined effort working with school administrations at the request to remove protesters who refuse to leave certain areas.
As you can see, New York is dealing with unprecedented levels of college protests.
I could
But the way
smash them
administrators
up into
responded may
oblivion
have made
right
the whole
now,
thing
but-
worse. As you'll see, colleges tried negotiating with the protesters.
Let
and
me
they
not
let
start
these things
trouble.
go on to a point where the
I'm not
protesters
starting,
felt
no
like they could stay
problems.
forever. Which is why the police had to roll in with their crazy new tank contraption, which is completely
if someone
bulletproof,
decides to
detects
attack me
radiation,
whilst I'm
and comes with a
attacking
turret for
someone else,
snipers.
it's
But the question
peak,
that a lot of
bro.
people have is,
It's
why did
peak.
these college protests suddenly start when they did. Well, it seems that the longer this conflict goes on, the further and further away peace seems to be. There probably won't be a ceasefire anytime soon, and to many of the protesters, it's starting to look like Israel seeks the total destruction of Gaza. For a while, we were hearing about peace. Oh, there's going to be peace, but that didn't happen. And to protest this, students started gathering in mid-April at Columbia to bring awareness to this problem. But that's not the only thing that the protesters were after, and although this started with demonstrations, the goal of those was to get the university to divest, or to stop investing its endowments, which are worth millions and millions of dollars, in businesses that help Israel in any manner. Now, Columbia specifically has an endowment that's worth over $1 billion. What they do with that money isn't public knowledge, so it's hard to know exactly which investments of that money the protesters had an issue with, but almost as soon as these demonstrations started, things took a turn for the worst.
The video you're watching now really gives us a clear picture as law enforcement made their way onto those school grounds, scenes of confusion and chaos as the NYPD efforted those arrests and trying to dial down an already tense.
Within a day of the protests starting, the university asked the NYPD to come in and clear out some of the demonstrators, and that was over 2 weeks ago. But of course, this ultimately did not deter the protesters, who kept coming back, setting up new encampments, digging in their heels, so to speak. And it should have been obvious that this was an out-of-control situation to begin with, because at this point, the college moved all classes online and started entering dialogues to negotiate with the protesters to find out what they wanted and how they could make the protests stop. The governor came out asking for peace and civility from the protesters, but at all these local colleges, you've got a big problem, because not only do the protesters have differences with other students, the professors at many of these colleges have differences with each other on this exact same issue, and over 100 professors at Columbia wrote an open letter that was published expressing support for this protest movement. And what student anywhere isn't happy when their professor supports them? This probably emboldened the protesters to an extent. On top of that, the professors had an issue with how the NYPD handled the recent disbursements on campus. And with stuff like this happening, it's not hard to imagine why this spiraled completely out of control, not just at Columbia, but at all these local schools. Now, for about a week, the negotiations between protesters and campus authorities went on, but at the end of the day, no agreements could be reached. The protesters wanted to stay, and the administration wanted them to leave, so they called the police back in, and that's when things got really crazy.
A massive show of force to crack down on college campuses in New York City. The
Hey, they captured my cousin.
Huge
What the
machinery
fuck?
cutting locks and making hundreds of arrests. The NYPD up.
So the reason things are so intense is because you had protesters occupying a building on campus. That was their headquarters. They'd taken it over, denying access to it from anybody else, and police had to physically remove them from that location. And while this is happening, students in dorms at other colleges and universities are getting wind of it. And just like that, this turned into a citywide movement enveloping all of these local area colleges. You had protesters moving between colleges, going to different protests at various locations.
Why did he
But
just
what exactly were these protesters hoping to accomplish by destroying the places they'd paid to attend?
That's nuts, bro. I said they just arrested my cousin and put her in jail. Why?
So here we are at the new school, and as you can tell from the police over here and from the police barricades that surround the entire thing, what's supposed to be a higher education facility is now a zone of occupation. Because inside this building right now is the first faculty-led encampment possibly in U.S. college history. You've got about 24 faculty members residing in these tents in the lobby of this building while they're supposed to be giving final exams. And the noise from these downtown protests was absolutely insane.
I'm sure you can hear the crowd behind me. There are hundreds of protesters. Take a look. I mean, obviously they are upset about the university's decision to call in the NYPD and clear out the encampment.
What you just saw here, that's the reason why we have 2 rows of police barricades and police all over the place. Was it crazy here at the new school?
Yeah.
It was?
Yeah.
Did they break stuff inside the school?
No. It was more so, it's been very peaceful.
Okay, that's good.
But then, of course, people got arrested.
Yeah.
Whole 9 yards, so.
Was there like an encampment of some kind?
Yeah, there was 2. There was one here.
Okay.
And then one over here.
That nigga's out of breath.
There's no wrong answer. Do you think the police were fair when they brought people out? Was it heavy? I mean, because I've heard reports.
I didn't see, but I heard it wasn't the prettiest of things.
Okay.
But I can only talk to what I saw, and
you'd be a good politician. And political science theory.
Shallow Gaza, yeah, like
Everybody
that.
who's protesting wants to destroy the college that they attend, and by and large, most of these folks have a peaceful intent. It's a small minority that are ruining it for everybody, but that brings us to what these protesters really want.
I don't think it's all of them being violent.
Because apparently in the past, protests demanding divestment from certain causes by a college have been successful. For example, in recent memory, colleges have been asked to divest from fossil fuel companies, from private prisons, and they have historically complied with those demands. And to many, it seems that the idea of financially punishing companies that are not supported by the goals of the protesters is the right move, and that this is how to do it. And the idea here is that by financially punishing companies that are helping Israel, those same companies would then lobby the government of Israel to get them to call for peace, have a ceasefire, do something, stop the war, because losing money is bad for business, and that's how people here think they can have a big effect. But unlike divestment-related protests in the past, to date, these calls have not been heeded by any of the universities. But that's got people asking, why won't the colleges just cave to the protesters, do what they want, and have these protests be over? Well, this is likely because calls for divestment, if heeded, would send a message that the college in question may be okay with an anti-Israel stance on things. After all, Israel is a U.S. ally and a
You don't have to be for Israel. That is so gay, man. Like, why would you be supporting every move of like a state if there's a move that you don't agree with? As a what do you call it? As a sovereign state, you have the right to be like, I don't support that move. But it seems like now when you're allies with countries are allies, it's like you can't go. You have to roll with all the punches. It's like, no, you don't. No, you don't.
In Israel, which is why, to many people, this conflict exists in the first place. Plus, you have students at all of these universities who may have been personally impacted by what happened there. But even if political fallout from divestment wasn't a possibility, it still may not have the intended effect the protesters are hoping for, even if the colleges were to go and pull their money out of these various companies. And the first reason for that is that it can be tricky to even know which companies to target in a divestment strategy concerning an entire country. For example, what if the college pulls money out of a certain company, discloses it, and the protesters say that's not enough? How do you win that argument? The other issue is that if colleges pull their money out of companies that are apparently supporting the war in Israel, they lose the ability to influence those very same companies. Because after all, being a shareholder of a company gives you some right over the say and operation of that very business. Colleges could collectively put pressure on companies to change what they're doing. But the third problem is that observers estimate these colleges individually, they don't own enough stock in companies that might be considered profiting from this war in the Middle East to actually make a difference if they were to sell those investments. They would just be purchased by somebody else, negating the whole idea of selling the shares in these companies to make them stop what they're doing. But at this point, the protest movements have gotten so big and so widespread that when these college encampments are cleared out by police, arrests will be made and protesters will take to the streets.
Just a short time later, officers entered the new school, where pro-Palestinian protesters have been set up for the last 12 days. Here, 43 people were arrested. Both schools say they called in the NYPD because of growing.
Now, apparently, here at the new school, they're getting
If you're under
themselves
18,
into a
do
little
not
Columbia
smoke.
situation because they've already had several police responses to the active
We don't promote
encampment
smoking
protest
on this
situation
channel,
here, and
so
it's still happening.
if you're
The
not a smoker,
administration
do not
cited
smoke.
safety concerns as the reason why they called in the NYPD. On top of that, 12
you're
days is
underage,
a long
wait till
time
you're of
for
age.
protesters to take over a school other people pay to attend. But after a large encampment was broken up at New York University, that turned into a march on one of the nearby local parks. And rampant vandalism, flag burning, this is the kind of stuff that's taking place out on the streets of the city once colleges ask the
If
police
you're
to move in.
Caribbean, Gaza
As an
has a
outside
whole
observer,
different
there's
meaning.
no reason to
Like,
do stuff
Gaza
like that
means
unless your
something
goal
else.
is awareness at all costs, even if those costs make the city around you
Gaza
a worse
means
place for
something
everybody to
that's
live.
lit,
But
you
when
know what I'm saying?
historical statues, artifacts,
No pun
memorials
intended.
start getting vandalized, that makes people stop supporting the protesters. And Mayor Adams is offering $5,000 of his own money for information leading to the capture of people who vandalize public monuments. And it's at this point, when you start to see stuff like this that says capitalism is the enemy, that you start to realize maybe America's an enemy of these protesters to an extent. And this mixed messaging brings up a big question. Do all of the protesters even know why they are at these protests or why they're happening? Do they all want to accomplish the same goal, or are some there just to protest what their own personal goal or personal grievance might be? And is it possible that this is just rebellion for the sake of rebellion?
Experienced fighter.
This is Brian. Hi. He's made lunch for us.
I hope you like it.
Buen appetito.
Fantastic, very good.
Doesn't Brian's homemade tortelloni taste just like Mama's?
It even looks like Mama's.
It's a family recipe.
They said he's a good fighter. Experienced fighter. You're gonna recruit this brother.
La Famiglia Rana, Italy's favorite pasta.
Wait, what?
Turn the whole town upside down. Have you running like Wee Willie Winky just in your nightgown?
Oh no, I don't want him to be religious.
You couldn't oust me with
Like a
1,000
monk
cans
or
of
something.
outbreak.
He's Catholic and Polish. We might need him in the... Seneschal. What the fuck is a seneschal?
You know, NYU is turning into more of a prison than a higher education facility. And at a recent protest here, some of the folks that came were unsure what their purpose actually was.
I think the goal is just showing our support for Palestine and demanding that NYU stops. I honestly don't know all of what NYU's doing.
Is there something that NYU's doing?
I really don't know. I'm pretty sure they're... Do you know what NYU's doing?
You know, at
least he's like a manager.
She was honest. And I think that whatever she thought she was doing there was probably what most people thought they were doing there. Which means aside from the leaders of the protest and the agitators that were brought in, many of the folks were just bystanders. At the end of the day, this is a moment in history. It is an act of extreme significance happening at the school you go to. Of course people are going to go by and want to see what's happening. Of course it doesn't exactly help that the protester in that video admitted that they had just come from another protest, so they were checking them all out like a tour. But when you look at all the heightened security and the lockdowns that are happening at all these universities, you can tell that the protesters did accomplish something. If the protesters' goal was awareness, they got it. And if it was to punish these schools financially, they also got it, just not in the manner that they were expecting.
I don't see his name
Out of Columbia, where the university has just announced it's canceling its main graduation ceremony. This, of course, amid the ongoing protests. Now, a statement posted online said, based on input and feedback from student leaders, the university has decided to focus attention on class days and school.
So if you wanted to punish your college for something, you would take away from them the one thing that they offer every student, and that is a secure learning environment that comes with a graduation at the end. Graduation's part of college. People work for years for that moment to get their diploma and have their picture taken and celebrate with their family. Now that these campuses have been turned into military-style occupation zones with checkpoints and police barricades and guards everywhere, they no longer look like safe places to learn and start building your future. And now you've got graduations being canceled and moved around all because of unexpected protests that appeared at the last minute, attended by people who don't go to your school. But if you think about it, many of the schools had no choice. How would they know that there would be no mass demonstration or attack on a graduation ceremony if one happened? And if they're having trouble controlling the protests that happen on campus and the graduation's gonna happen on campus, you know something's gonna happen. But there are many folks who say that canceling a graduation at a school like Columbia definitely sends the wrong message. And of course, all this extra security, these police barricades, they send the message that this place is out of control. And this is in spite of both the governor and the mayor coming out in support of the fact that colleges should normally operate and have their graduations. Because they know, as well as everybody else, that once you cancel something major like that, the protesters have won. And now they control the school. And that brings up the real issue here that nobody's talking about. If these colleges don't control their own campuses, if instead those campuses are controlled and run by the protesters who just show up whenever they want, do whatever they want, are people really going to take college serious as an investment in their own future if that's not something they support? Or if, like one of the many normal students on these campuses, they just wanted to go to class and graduate, is that too much to ask? Or is attending one of these major universities now something that people should only do if they have it in their toolbox to become a protester and to join in with something like this? Will future college life be something akin to living in a police state all the time? And is it even going to be a good idea to go to one of these colleges if you don't support and fall in line with the beliefs of people who may start protesting randomly? There are professors right now at all of these universities who sympathize with the protesters and their intended goals and support them. And if you're a student thinking of attending one of these schools, how could you not look at the actions of the administration and decide if that's the right place for you to go? Because everyone knows we haven't seen the last of these campus protests. There are still ongoing protests in New York City, and how a college or university decides to control its campus is going to be something people have to start thinking about years before they even show up. By the way, props to NYU for still having a graduation. But how do we know if future college life and activity won't be disrupted by protest-related activity in the years to come? After all, the goals of the protesters have not been met. Have we seen the last of campus protests in New York, or are they just an extension of the protests and activity that has already been taking over this city since last year? Let me know what you think. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.
So we have Portugal.
You know, Stevie here nearly bailed on you two again. Stressing out about his spending. But then he discovered TSB's spend and save current account, earning him £5 a month for the first 6 months. Ooh. Hiya. Saving.
Pounds.
A bank account that helps you save money as you spend it.
Ah, where next? I'm all ears.
Search, spend and save.
Oh, fuck.
Humans create over 2 billion tons of garbage every year.
So I need to create a duchy of Galicia.
Others are doing something about it. They're making vegan leather from rotten mangoes, recycling plastic into bricks, stuffing teddy bears with cigarette butts, and lacing up sneakers made from shopping bags.
Right.
Welcome to Worldwide Waste,
But I'm
a series
king.
about the messes we make and how people deal with them.
Of Galicia. And trying to figure out something.
This is melted plastic mixed with sand.
It has to look like poo. Ideally speaking, it's very visual like that.
Counties.
And it becomes as hard as concrete once a hydraulic press squeezes it into shape. A company in Nairobi wants to install these plastic bricks on streets across Kenya's capital. Could they become a solution for a country where 90% of roads have never been paved? And are roads made from plastic trash really a good idea? We went to Nairobi to meet the young inventor making bricks out of worldwide waste.
Yeah, no, this is not it.
Nzambe Mate opened her company, Jijenge Makers, in 2018.
So Jijenge is a Swahili word which translates to build yourself.
The factory processes 3 of the 7 types of single-use plastics.
Here on my right, these are the hard plastic.
Fido.
And here on my left, these are the soft plastic.
Clan. Tribal.
Kenya has one of the world's toughest bans on plastic bags. But bottles and other containers are still everywhere.
Okay.
This is where workers sort them. They can handle about 10 metric tons of plastic every month.
So this is the guy who starts our production. Without him, we are nothing. So
I mean, I don't mind looking after tea for now. You know what I'm saying?
Vinny operates the crusher, which pulverizes plastic into small pieces.
Let's crush it. Very loud.
Workers fold the dry mix together with a shovel.
Depending on the color you want, this is a stage at which you put the color pigment. And then after that, it's fed on the extruder.
This machine heats the plastic and sand mixture until it's soft enough to mold.
This is one of my proudest moments as a person, as a team member, and also as the founder of Jijenge. So what you see here, the machine and all the others, we fabricated here.
I won't pretend I've always celebrated it, but I'm starting from today.
When you write, your tone influences how readers respond. With Grammarly, just highlight your text and type how you want to sound. Get your message right every time. Download it for free at Grammarly.com.
So I'm not sure if you've noticed, but England and Englishness is changing, and extremely quickly. Travelling from one city to another, you'd be forgiven for thinking that you travelled to 2 completely different countries. The country that the generation before me grew up in is unrecognisable from the country that we live in today. And if you're not from England, I dare say the country that you have in your imagination is not the country that actually exists. So with that in mind, I've come to the capital city, London, the big smoke. Because if you want to get a feel of what a country looks like, then surely the capital city is the place to start. For the next couple of days, I'm going to travel around London. I'm going to start here in the west, go make my way through the centre, and then go all the way through the east, the north and the south, and see what London is really like in the year of 2024. Let's go. So where we're starting is a place called Southall. It's otherwise known as the Little Punjab or the Little India.
Rotted.
It's St. George's Day today, but I wouldn't expect to see any St. George's crosses flying here.
Right, what's going on
There's a
here?
history behind that, which I'll let you know about in a second. But first, we're gonna go grab a pub, because I've seen a pub on the corner, and I do celebrate St. George's Day. But I won't pretend I've always celebrated it, but I'm starting from today.
Oh shit. My brother is at war with...
How you doing, mate? Right.
My other brother, oh shit. Keep me out of that shit.
Many
hey, one of my brothers is trying to take over.
Everything increasing. So it's hard to run.
Yeah.
You know what? What's the difference in between blonde and butter?
I'm not sure.
Actually, butter hard to spread. You can see the growth rate of India now.
If he asks me for help, I'll help him still.
And all Europe is dying.
Why do you think Europe's dying? It's interesting that you say
Actually, yeah, it's dying. Actually, they got human right with it. That's the problem. Actually, human right is not problem. The thinking is good, but problem is some people use human right as a weapon, and all Europe is suffering with this. All Europe is.
I could help him, but he ain't asked me for help. Because if my man takes over this,
around all over
that's
the
gonna
world,
be problematic.
But
for me,
now they suffer.
People taking advantage.
Because you already don't like me.
Interesting perspective there to say that human rights are being weaponized against the European nations and what we've built here. But we're going to walk into Southall now. We're going to grab some food because I'm bloody Hank Marvin, and then we're going to head into Central. But I just want to show you Southall. I've never been here before, so I feel like a proper tourist in my own country. Let's have a look.
I could sway him though.
Little market going on here. Nan market, by the looks of it. Some of it.
Bro, why is my character not popping some kids yet? What is he doing?
Since I got off the train, there's been a persistent smell of amazing Indian food. So I'm going to grab some pani puri or pami puri. I'm not sure how you say it.
I'm going to send her.
But we're going to go grab some of them because I love them. So yeah, so this is Southall, Little India or Little Punjab, and you won't expect to see any St. George's crosses here. And there's a history behind that, to be honest. In the 1970s, late 1970s, the National Front, which was a violent ethno-nationalist group, political party, I think they still exist, but I'm not sure if they have any influence anywhere. Well, anyway, they were quite prominent in this position, in this place. Skinheads were a bit of an issue here. They were attacking and bullying people, and actually ended up killing someone. And then they tried to hold one of their political meetings in a building on this high street, and the local Punjabi people had basically decided enough was enough and they weren't going to have it anymore. They weren't going to be intimidated by essentially just a racist group. So they protested the meeting and it turned into be riots on St. George's Day, and then one of the protesters was hurt. There was 300 people arrested, and it left a bit of a sour taste in the mouth of people around here.
I never knew about that.
Can I please have some of the pani puri?
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You want sweet and spicy both, yeah?
Sweet and spicy both, yeah, please,
okay,
yeah. I feel like I'm on holiday walking around here.
Where are you from now?
I'm from Middlesbrough, in the northeast. Middlesbrough, yeah.
It's very far.
Yeah, I've come down to see London. And you, are you from Southall?
I'm from original Pakistan.
Okay.
I'm living here. I'm near 20 years I'm living here this Southall.
Nice. So Southall home?
Yeah, my home here.
Yeah.
That's right now.
So you've lived here for 20 years.
Yeah.
Do you think, or are you now British? Or
I'm British now.
Yeah, you're British now.
Yeah.
Okay, so what does it mean to be British?
British?
Yeah.
The British maybe you English.
Okay.
That's the only English passport. I'm originally born in Pakistan, you know.
Yeah. Okay, so it's home.
I'm under flag, you know?
Yeah, okay. So when you think of home, do you think of Pakistan or do you think of Southall?
Yeah.
Nice.
This is my country.
Yeah?
This country give you everything. I grow here. Maybe my business grow up here. And my life is here. Why I go back? I'm dying here, ground floor. That's it. It's nice paradise.
I said fuck Pakistan. I hear
England
it.
is my country.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Motherland. This is my mother country.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I just want to get you my change.
Wait,
How
he's
much is it?
beefing right
350?
now.
What was it for?
No. That's it.
Thank you very much.
For you.
Thank you
Bro,
very
what's
much.
wait, hold on, what's going on?
There are
These
100
are
reasons
beefing
why
next door, I don't
Revolut
know
is
why.
the future of money. Reason 10: get interest paid on your savings every single day.
It's
So
my
many
man, isn't it?
reasons.
Oh my
Download
days,
the Revolut
bro.
app
What is
today.
he doing, fam? Bro, what is my man doing, bro? He's trying to take over my man's. Oh. I don't think I can let him do that, bro.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate.
So when I was in India, this was my favourite food.
Pakistan.
Oh, well, is this a Pakistani
That's
version?
Pakistani food, yeah.
Okay, when I was in India, I had it and it was
No, it's the
amazing.
same, but it's my Pakistani food.
Okay, Pakistani version. Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't know. Right, I'm gonna try it. It's the British version.
Yes.
Bro, I need to tell him stop that war, bro.
Look at this.
Bro, stop that. What is he doing?
Oh shit.
But the guy
so
is
good.
at this car.
Oh.
Wait,
It's like spicy, lime.
is this guy mad?
Chickpeas.
Is this guy mad, bro? I'm the king. He's telling me he's
Right,
not
no,
gonna stop
absolutely.
warring now. We can't do that
Delicious.
now. We can't
I
do
feel
that.
well
Hold
fed
on,
now.
hold on. We need to get
It's
rid
not
of
really
this
much to show you.
brother.
It's just like another high street.
What the fuck?
All different types of shops and places from typically South Asian heritage.
We need to get rid of this guy, bro.
It definitely doesn't feel like England. How are you doing, love? All right. Does it feel like England? It definitely doesn't feel like England, but not in a negative sense. I made a video in Birmingham recently and people were calling me a racist or whatever else because I was saying it doesn't feel like England. And yeah, I do feel like a little bit of a criticism because, well, it is England, but at the same time, it's not up for people who come to this country to give up their own culture. Why should they? I am personally,
bro,
a nationalist. Let's say a nationalist, a patriot. I don't know what the word is to say someone who loves their own country. So I am actually jealous and envious of the people who come here and maintain their own culture. I speak to people of the Caribbean community who actually say that their culture is disappearing, their British Caribbean culture is disappearing. And it shouldn't be an issue for a white person to be able to say, or a white British person to be able to say, look, our culture is disappearing, but it's also our responsibility to maintain it. So, more power to the people maintaining their own culture.
Bro, this guy's warring in my realm. I don't like that, bro. I need to do something.
They want to improve their lives. And
If I
for a lot of
expose
them,
him.
they've been here for 3 or 4 generations, so this is home, whether people like it or not. England is
That's
changing.
not gonna do nothing, bro.
Right, I'm gonna move out of Southall now because it is St George's Day and I want to go to the centre. So I want to see
If I
if there's any
expose the
celebrations for
attempted
our patron
murder.
saint. Now I'm not going to pretend that I actually celebrate St George's Day because I never have done before.
It might fuck up
I
his
actually
thing,
feel it's a
innit?
bit of a shame. I feel personally responsible.
If I expose my man, do you think it's gonna make him stop the ball? Nah, I'm a blackmail this guy. I'm gonna blackmail him because he needs to stop this war, bro. I know what you did, fam. I know what you did. Whether it is misguided sense of pride or fear of some greater reprisal, Duke Nuno claims that I hold no sway over him. A threat was made and there can only be one outcome. I hate telling me, but I cannot reveal this secret. So this guy, he's not willing to stop the war. He don't want to play ball. But he said that this will hold no sway over him. Cool, then if it holds no sway over you, then lay it out. Lay it out. Hold on. Wait, what's my culture? Castilian. You know what? Wait, can I not? Hold on. Fuck, I can't change culture. Hold on. Why can't I do it? Let me go to my account. So increase development. Nah, we're not gonna do that. Hold on. Fucking hell. Hold on. Find some secrets, bro. We need you. Hold on. This is strategy right now, bro. I don't wanna fuck it up. My man is on foreign affairs right now. This guy is converting people to another faith. Shit, they're all busy. What is this guy doing? Collecting taxes. Nah, he's what? Increasing development. Yeah, that's needed. That's needed for sure. He's at war. He's at war with who? These lot. Bro, I need to back them, bro. I can't lie. I can't let them do that to my people still. That's a small place. If the king don't defend them, what use am I for? You know what I'm saying? I'm useless. Like, if I don't help them, I'm useless. So I think I'm gonna make a move. I think I'm gonna make a move still. Where's the... Okay, the rally point is up there. I'm gonna raise all armies, bro. Wait, what? Hold on. Send them over there. Bro, we need to defend them, bro. I can't lie. I can't let this happen. Can't let this happen, bro.
Ability for not maintaining my own culture. And I blame my parents a little bit, and probably my grandparents too. Anyway, let's head into the city centre and see if there is any celebrations for our patron saint. Now,
wait, what? What?
I'm not even sure if I'm allowed to say this. One thing I find interesting in places like Southall and other places which are diverse.
Wait, I sent them to the wrong place.
People will actually say,
oh,
all right, brother, as you walk past. And I remember about 10, 15 years ago, and probably still a thing now, is the black man nod. It seems like in some places in England, that now there is sort of a white man's nod. Interesting how things are changing. Do you know what? I like that.
Bro, my man went and joined him to help them lay a siege. I'm not having it. I'm not having it, bro.
The best thing about Compare the Market is the coffee with the pastry. Get 25% of coffee and pastries with a qualifying product, so Compare the Market. Simples. I want this reworked until tomorrow.
I need a new job.
Bro, what's going on?
Find your right
Attack
job
him.
quick and easy with Total Jobs.
I'm just
Your helping hand when it comes to jobs. Total Jobs.
Right,
so what? You're telling me I can't stop this
St.
war?
George's Day. So we are going to see an unusual sight today. Some St. George's flags.
Is this what's happening?
In London. But one thing which is mightily frustrating, and I don't know why we do it. I complained about flags in Birmingham, but I'm going to complain about one here as well. Down here is Downing Street.
You know what?
Do you know, that's where the Prime Minister lives. The Prime Minister of the United Kingdom of England.
You know what? Fuck it. I don't know what's going on. It's not letting me.
The flag of another nation. What is that about? This is England. It's a joke. Anyway, we're going to get on with it. Because we're going to see what it actually means to some of these people, what it means to be English.
I became the new dynasty head.
But if you, like me,
what does that mean?
have had enough, then vote for a patriotic party that stands for what you believe in, not one that says what you want to do, what you want, but vote for one that is willing to do.
Almost got it. Yeah, he almost got it, didn't he? Besides the politics, like ignoring the politics, what does it mean to you to be English?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, to have our freedom of speech, you know, and it's taken away from us. You know, all these lefty wokies now, you know, that you've got to refer to people as if off, mate.
Oh my gosh, my man took over my man's place, bro.
Do you understand? Just because a pig's born in a stable, don't make it a horse. There's the lies, I mean, the conspiracy theorists for the last 20 years, what they've been theorising about, every part of it has come true.
I didn't want him to expand,
right? So, you know, when they
bro.
go, all you conspiracy theorists, yeah?
I can't lie, we might have to mash him up.
It's conspiracy factists. Now, what they're conspiring about now, there's actually going on. You're a conspiracy theorist. Now,
No, that's my guy, we're not going to do that.
I look down at Parliament. I look at these absolute donuts. They do not live in the areas we live in. They do not see the mass immigration we see. Our towns and cities are being changed, and they are going to be changed forever unless we do something.
I've only been here 10 minutes. And the sense of frustration is it's obvious. And
I need to think about this carefully.
I've just come from South.
I need to think about this carefully. I need to think about this very carefully. Hold on. These lot are still beefing over here. You know what? Let's see it through. Cause I don't trust this brother here, fam. I can't lie to you. He's a duke. This guy's a count. And I'm the king. It is a pun for corruption to say, and I can build you a terrific one. The builder before me has good credential. My courtier, very excited about the prospect. You will have all the resources you need. What's his stress level? I don't think it's too high, right? Oh, I made a great deal, good. I didn't want to pay him all that money. Where's my chancellor? Hey, what happened to my chancellor? Oh, this is not good, man. Duchy, he's got a whole duchy, fam. Ah, this, hold on. My vassal, knight and rival. He's got 12 months left. Bro, I need a new chancellor, innit? And you're gonna put you on domestic affairs. Ah, this is gonna be a bit. This is gonna be a bit mad, bro. I can't lie. I'm gonna need that, bro. Cause if anyone try fuck me over. Should I challenge him to a fight? Bro, I've tried everything, innit? Bro, come scrap, innit? We're gonna scrap, I don't care. For a few brief moments, Junior and I pacing lazy half circles, each watching for an opening. I held my sword, ready to defend myself, while he clutches his spear firmly to hand. This fight may only be till first blood, but that doesn't ease my nerves. With a sudden twitch, our bout begins. One moment we fight, and the next there's a cry of Huya. My eyes sting, my vision blurs, and my mouth tastes of hell dirt. Maybe if I wait, he would chip on his spear. How about thee, just die? For the Lord and Saint George suffer, blasphemer. blasphemer. No, because that's gonna give me like a certain trait in it. If I could, nah, you're never gonna do that, bro. Just do the middle one. Just keep it simple. I try a few perfunctory quick slashes, focusing mostly on trying not to lose my sword, but nothing really even gets close to my foe. Tries hesitantly to launch a quick slash at me, but the blow is easily swatted away. My form is deteriorating fast with numerous exploitable gaps, and stances is a disaster. We are evenly matched, with victory balancing on the knife edge. How about some dirt in your eye? Let's see how you like your schooling. Damn! This is tough, bro. This guy didn't play fair, bro. He attacked someone that was way more small. I told him to stop the war. He didn't want to. I tried blackmailing him a little. So I'll keep his secret. He didn't want to play game. To play ball. I want to see how it feels if I use the same tactics against him. Let's put some dirt in his eyes. Snatching up a handful of dirt, I hurry at my opponent only for a gust of wind to off-put me and send the dirt. What? Choking and spam easy, pretty funny, he whacks me straight in the throat with the of his spear into the grass. Have just about got my breath back by the time I feel succumb to rest against my exposed belly. Bro, my man he had less combat abilities than me. I checked. How is this possible? What does Rue means? I'll regret the day. You'll regret the day you defeated. Bro, what does that mean? Oh, I'm telling him like, okay, he would regret doing that. Okay, yes. I just gained some stress. Fucking no, man. Oh, see, it's getting tough now. I'm not gonna lie to you. I need like I need to go on a hunt or something, bro. Oh, I can't even do that, fam. Fuck! Let me see this. Bro, he's got 10 fighting ability. I don't know how I lost to my man. Can't lie to you. Anyway, bro, I'll have a. Let me not get desperate, but I keep this guy in the back of my skull because, I don't know what he's up to, fam. To make my Arab and vassal due more sensible to my intense high pressure, I can include a compliment in my text in my next missive to his court. I will be sure to mention his He's ambitious. Let's mention his ambition. Let's see if that works, innit? If that don't work, bro, I don't know. Like, this guy is truly like a wizard. Our recent has been a source of joy for me. I couldn't help but think that we might both benefit from increased communication. Okay, yes. That worked a little. You know what I'm saying? That worked a little. Wait, that's my sister. My sister's at war with my man. This might be the way, bro. This might be how I get to make my move, you know. This might be how I make my move still. Ah, shit. Hold on. What do I do? This is not as simple as it looks, fam. Hey, what's my army saying? $1,400 right now. How many you got? You got 2,500. That's not good. My ally right here, how many has he got? He got 2,600. Now my armies need to pattern up, bro. Cool, hold on. Oh wait, I'm not allied to my man yet. Oh shit. Fuck, hold on. Fuck, man. I thought I had him as an ally. Well, a good thing I didn't attack yet, fam. Where are my allies? That's far. That's far still. Okay. Oh, I got an ally up here still. What's his army saying? 800. That's not good enough. I think I'm gonna make a move yet, fam. Wait, my man needs to organize my army anyway, yeah. Cool, I'm gonna just chill for a minute.
And I was praising a little bit of multiculturalism, and I do like a lot of it, but it isn't being done very well. And the people who are in these rallies, they're at the front end of it, typically. They're from the towns where the grooming gangs are happening, where the extremism is happening, where the segregation is. So there's no wonder that these people are frustrated and often accused of racism, and no doubt there is some of that amongst people, but a lot of it is just to do with frustration at the situation. There's no plan. And people are tribal. We can't pretend that they're not. Every other culture is proud of their culture, but for us, when we say we want to be proud of ours and we want to stand forward with ours, we're beaten down as racist and whatever else. So no wonder the frustration is starting to boil over. I was really curious if I could ask you why you would bring an Israeli flag to St. George's Day.
Yeah, because Hamas are terrorists. Hamas are and they hate women, they hate Christians, they hate Jews, and I hate them.
You know, different than them then. Bro, my man had no kids here. What's going on?
Quick question for you.
What is he
if
doing?
If you converted to Islam, would you still sing that song? No. Okay, fair enough. Simple as that.
Try Airwick Active Fresh Auto Spray. Amazing fragrance for up to 70 days.
This is the casting call for UBQ's first ever video. Leftover plastics?
Only 13% of trash gets recycled.
UBQ is a new company that turns waste into a sustainable plastic substitute.
Next.
Garbage generates 20% of
2
man-made
years,
methane
bro.
emissions.
All the plastics are carbon positive, even a recycled polypropylene. But UBQ is actually carbon negative.
Emissions? You're up.
Every ton of UBQ material prevents up to 11 tons of emissions from being added to our atmosphere. Wait, what? That's what I've been trying to tell you. UBQ wants to rid the world of...
Churchill, I went to go to Churchill, do you know what I mean? And they wouldn't even let me touch Churchill. I went to the monument, do you know what I mean? The monument, it means so much to us. Being English means more to me than anything. I'm not even Christian, I'm a pagan. This is 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 years old. Do you know what I mean? I'm a pagan. I was here when King Arthur picked his sword up and said, come on. And then we have these that tell us we can't even stand in our own country.
What do you mean by that? I think I understand.
How do you understand? You tell me.
So,
I'll tell you what I understand.
Okay. I'll say it like this: as a white man in this country.
No, it's not about
No.
What colour you
Let me tell you why I think it's difficult. As a white man in this country, if you stand up and say you're proud to be English or proud to be British, you're attacked as a racist. Yeah.
Cool.
And I understand that. Yeah. Churchill, he's a racist,
Yeah,
right? Okay, so I understand that. But that's what I'm trying to avoid, that is like, not what other people say we are, what is it that we think we are? Because I don't know what it means to be English anymore.
I know what I am. See this land that you stand on? Your forefathers have fought for this land. You fought, your forefathers. They call us everything under the sun.
This is tough.
Do you know what I mean?
My man's have kids here, this is mad.
This land we stand on means so much to us. Do you know what I mean?
I need an heir to the throne, bro.
2,000 years. We've taught the world how to be civil, and they still slag us off. I'll tell you what, in the annals of history, they'll say the English stood strong.
I promise it. Fear is kicking off.
Hey, who we beefing though?
No. It got pretty worked up about that. what is it to you to be English, and why is a day like this important?
Yeah, so in terms of addressing what you've spoken about, the media, the government, and common opinion and the Overton window has now changed everything. Can it be changed back? Possibly. Do we need it to be changed back? No. The only option now is to focus on Christ. That's it. So you've been quite forthcoming and eloquent by saying, what is it to be English? And of course, multiculturalism and the prospect of multi-faith relationships was always going to bring this about. It's going to question and challenge nationalism. And in this context, nationalism or faith, race and religion.
I can't even see the ops, bro.
I'm covering this today in a citizen journalistic capacity, but the reality is that people are going to have to make a decision. What comes first, culture or economy? What comes first, faith or freedom? And are there overlaps there? So these are all complicated things that are happening. But to your point about our brothers and sisters from different parts of the world who say, I'm British.
Oh, you know what?
British.
Let's run.
Problem solved. Done. We're now in a situation whereby, for the first time ever, I've heard what I wanted to hear today, and that was all the speakers talk about Christ. All the speakers talk about Christianity.
That's the opposite.
And slowly we are going to have to acknowledge that in 21st century Britain, we're going to have to reevaluate our ideas about nationalism.
That's the opposite.
Refocus more on faith.
So you're saying the concentration on faith, nationalism, we've got to find where the boundaries go. Concentrating on Christ.
That's a bit far. I can't even cap.
Islam in that future of nationalism, in that future of deciding what faith is that something that we have to deal with, the fact that we're going to have competing interests when it comes to even religion?
No, so the fantastic news is that great question, and the answer is that'll be up to them. If they assimilate, then yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So assimilation is the problem, because that's the problem I find.
Well, no. The question now becomes, and this is most important, is assimilation even possible? We always talk about that on the right. We talk about assimilation. Oh yeah, it's fine as long as they assimilate. Give me an example of assimilation where it's worked.
Yeah, personally, I don't understand what assimilation means.
It might work. It can work.
I'm proud of the heritage, but I don't really know what English culture is anymore. I feel completely disenfranchised.
So multiculturalism and progressive culture was always going to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, fine, no problem. Good always comes out of bad. It's forcing us once again to look at what's most important, which means you're going to have to start convincing hundreds of thousands of people across the world actually that nationalism might actually have to come second. So Christ, family, land. These are ideas that we need to start discussing.
Right, that's enough of the nationalism stuff. Let's go explore London.
But I don't want no race war armies. Yeah, let's do that. How many is that? 500? Where we go? Actually, I'm in. I'm going down there, stop.
Supercharge your business with the all-new Shopify point of sale, the all-in-one POS solution built on the world's most powerful commerce platform. Whether you have one location or 1,000, Shopify's point of sale can help you elevate your e-commerce strategy, streamline operations, and increase sales. So
the nobles of Holland no longer consider the clergy to be righteous and true, as well as they believe their new faith properly aligns with the will of God, and they are distancing themselves from their former religious institutions. Yeah, what is this, bro? What kind of mockery? Wait, let me see what's going on. What day is it? June 19th? No, August 19th. So, okay, your spouse average from singular to this. Okay, nice. My sister is in prison, fucked. This brother won. You know. Oh, I managed to sway him a little. I didn't do much though. Enemy ally join war. Fucking no, man. It's not gonna be pretty. Are we still winning? You're going that actually. Yeah. You're basically winning though. 1,000 here, 700. Nah, that's the allies. The 600 ups here. Listen, we're making a move, bro. Fuck it. They want us to pull up. So I'm gonna pull up right here. Obviously, they have allies there. Wait, what? What's going on, bro? I think it's a Roman Empire war, yeah, because my man attacked, these man attacked these man, innit? Yeah, this is my ally up here. What do you mean offer to join war? Am I not already warring with them, bro? I'm confused. Wait, why am I fighting with these man? Where's... Oh, this guy. Yeah, this guy is my guy, yeah. We're taking over this town right here. Coming. I had to grab something to eat. I've been on for a minute. Got this onion and is it? I say onion. Onion and mushroom quiche from Girls. So some sauce. Is it Nando's? Just a Nando's sauce. Cool. Where were we? I'm unfortunately for my rest of my neighbours. Should I count? What the fuck, bro? What is this guy doing, bro? Whoa. What did he just do, fam? Fuck, what did he just do? Oh shit, we just smashed them up. Make sure that you loot some gold. Now she's pregnant. Good.
So yesterday I started my day in West London, so I thought it only fitting today to start in East London. I've come to a place called Barking. Now Barking is the home of the site of one of the biggest regeneration centres in all of London. There's a huge estate just where we're going to head to in a second, which is being pumped with money, and it's also the site or the home of one of the most notorious gangs in all of London, the Albanians. Now if you don't know, the Albanians in England run the and I know through extensive and personal research that that is true. But we're going to head to their estate shortly after we've walked through the town centre to see what it looks like in East London in 2024. For some reason, this town centre is still flying the EU flag. I'm sure we voted to leave them about 6 or 7 years ago. Might even be longer than that. Right, so I come to the town because I was hoping to speak to a few people about what it means to be British, but in all honesty, I'd be wasting my breath. I spoke to a couple of people in the town. They didn't want to speak on camera. One of them was a Jamaican lady, and she has similar anxieties or feelings as me, although she's never really contemplated it. She said that the things that unite us as a country are our differences. I'm really curious as to how that can make any sense, and she was the same. She said that she didn't feel comfortable sometimes. She doesn't speak to anyone when she comes to London, even though when she's been up north she felt out of place because people didn't look like her. So really interesting what's going on here in London. It's a completely different country to what it was, say, 20, 30, 40 years ago. I'm walking around this town now and almost nobody is speaking English. They're speaking, I don't know what languages. Whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know. But to say that London is the capital city of England, I don't know. It ain't an English city. Not one bit. No one looks like me, sounds like me. Do you, as someone who's from abroad, understand why people like me would be frustrated with that?
Of course, 100%. Like, it might sound a little bit naive, like being African that was born in Africa. But at the same time, I understand. Like I said, I did the first work I've done in this country.
That's what I was clicking.
So I've been there for over a decade, so I understand. I understand the complaints people make. Obviously, people actually think most of the opportunities are given to foreigners and all that. I understand. At the same time, people expect to come here and don't want to adapt to what the British values are. And I mean, obviously, you have to, for you to be a British citizen and live here comfortably and left alone, you have to adapt and accept that you're in England.
Wait, so which king just died?
Okay,
oh shit, no.
Process and how it feels.
I'm a tired bitch from Friday telling me 2 perfect little boys. Oh shit, twins. My sweet children, all of you grew up to carry my legacy and all will remain in the shadow. I hope people love each other.
Stress, anxiety, delays and disappointment.
There is a better way. OneDome, a revolutionary online service that makes the whole process
after the Queen's
simpler
father,
and cheaper. Guaranteed.
And the other one after
mortgage
my
arrangements, conveyancing and administration all in one place. Paper bag?
Actually, let's go with Ludwig.
Or OneDome.
Oh shit, what the fuck? Where are you going, man?
London to me doesn't feel like my capital city anymore.
I'm getting raided,
fam. I come here and no one speaks the same, they don't eat the same food, they don't have the same cultural traditions.
I agree.
So my question is like, what unites us as one people?
What's the interest? What interest, like I said,
should I be totally honest, do you even feel that we're united?
Personally? Look, I go all over and I can... Look.
We are.
That's what I'm saying, like, are we even... Like, there's obviously, there's communities that are close, but as a whole, we're f***ing divided, bro.
Like, people call me a fly gammon, yeah? And I get it, yeah? But I'm saying, like, look, if we live next door to each other, we have to have something which we have in common.
Yeah.
So what is it that brings us together?
Yeah, but I'm telling you, the only thing that's going to bring us together is for everybody to be on the same page, and that won't happen. We've got too much. Well, I don't know about you. Here in London, I can only speak for London. There's too much cultural differences, yeah, and that alone is a division. If you say, oh, everybody's going to love each other, that's the way to go on about, innit? Love. It sounds silly, like a man speaking like a little child, but love is the way, innit? But how do you get that?
I cannot tell you how much I love speaking to people with different perspectives and different understandings of the same thing, about what it means to be English, what it means to be British. Right, we're going to continue walking on down to Gascoigne Estate. The Gascoigne Estate is the Albanians, the home of the Albanians. There's music videos and drill videos of you seeing them. They're cutting about with big armoured machine guns and armoured cars and vehicles and Bentleys and Rolls Royces and God knows what. They flaunt it, they don't give a shit. They're here to deal, and they love it. Right, we're going to walk down there now.
Wait, what? Please, follow me. Yeah, make sure you help my child, you know. What the fuck?
Right, I've been to a lot of places in London over the years. I've been to London for about 8 years. I haven't seen any places that look as derelict and as rough as this. Oh, this looks... It's quite intimidating. I've never been here before. I won't pretend it's not. There's quite a few boarded up, quite a few smashed windows. Okay, I'm going to keep my wits about me as we walk around here. You'll have to forgive me, I'm a little bit discreet with the camera. This Albanian crew are doing, or have been doing over the years, is commandeering vulnerable people's apartments and dealing out of them and turning them into crack dens. I can believe it, this place feels sketchy. Look at this. In this country, in England, we are divided by a lot of things in this multicultural system that we're now living in. But one thing which is probably more prominent than anything is the class system. There is a massive divide between the haves and the have-nots. Can you imagine Rishi Sunak walking around this estate as his hometown? No chance. Here you can see some of the gentrification which is going on, some of the new builds, new homes. I wonder how many people who are or were living in these can afford the new houses which are being built on this estate.
Alright, cool, let's end this war, bro. I'm ready for my armies to come back home. Type shit. Type shit.
Look, we've been east, we've been west, and we're about to go south. But I couldn't come to London and not show off this masterpiece of a bridge. Look at this. Tower Bridge. Unbelievable. So iconic. Anyway, we're gonna walk into the town now. I'm gonna quickly grab a swift pint because I'm not done with the touristy stuff of London. I wanna go see London Bridge, Borough Market. It's my favourite place in London, so we're going to go have a pint there, we'll grab some food, and then we're going to head into a part of London which has always had a reputation. Now some of it has changed, it's been gentrified. There's a place there called, well, it used to be called Little Jamaica. And if you look and you speak to people from the Caribbean community in Britain, you'll hear from them that it's not only the white British and the white English that can feel the change in this country. They also are complaining about their culture being lost. So we're going to head to Brixton and see how that looks now in 2024. But first, let me go grab a pint. And look, I know these questions I'm asking.
Yo, come on, let's
does it mean to be English?
bro.
What does it mean to be British? They're probably not important to a lot of people. And they might not be important at all when times of peace and prosperity they aren't. But I will say this. These are not there for no reason. So there are conversations that we need to have, tough conversations that we need to have of what it means to be a multicultural Briton.
This Innocent Plus juice has more energising vitamins, fruit and blue spirulina
How
than we
long
can
is
tell you
that
about in a
siege
6-second
gonna
ad.
take? 8 months. Bro, we should be winning right now.
Okay, so I couldn't come to London, couldn't come to Borough Market after I've been complaining all day about how I don't feel English and not get some proper English grub.
Oh, I've been there
so
before.
I grabbed myself something even more English than I think I am. A black pudding and pork pie. If you don't know what black pudding is, it's essentially just dried pig's blood. So that in a pork pie, very haram, but also very delicious.
We need that for war, bro. Can't lie. Levies are like soldiers, isn't it? My marshal may have been showing off a promising new recruit. He may not be as noble stock as you, my least, but on my name,
Okay,
I
so we
said
made
that I'll
it
be
to
to
Brixton
someone you
and
want on
we're
your
walking
side.
through the town centre and it's actually alright, to be fair. I've been here for about 10 years, so I'm not sure what to expect. Like anywhere in London, most places are completely safe during the
Monster
day,
Hunter.
especially if you're not involved in the gang stuff.
Brave,
but what we are going to do
arrogant,
during my research,
lustful.
I've seen that there is an estate
use
just
that
up the
against
road
them.
which they say is the most dangerous
Alright,
place
very nice.
for gang members at the moment in London. So we're going to head there now just to see what it's like. I'm not going to hang around for ages. I'm not going to try and provoke anyone. I don't want to get myself stabbed up.
Sodomy? Oh, what? While performing his duties as spy master, Mayor Alfonso has uncovered a secret held by Count Pedro Pravia. He has been enjoying the intimate company of other men. The foolishness of thinking that such a sin against God would go unnoticed. Hey. Hold on. So I have this against him now. Yo, what? Hold on. Hooks. I have hooks on all these. Who are these kids, bro? Oh, the family. No way. Wait, that's the brother that. Wait, hold on. Bro, that's the guy that fucking. Nah, it's not him, fam. Who is it that fucking... Hold on. He found a secret. Who was it, fam? I sent him here, innit? I'm not gonna blackmail him yet. Can I request a claim? If I expose him, nah, there's no point doing that, bro. I might as well just. I'm gonna just hold on. I'm gonna just sit on it for now. Pause. I'm just gonna chill. I have a prisoner. Who the fuck is that? Oh, that's when I was fighting. For 18 months in house arrest. Nah, I'm not gonna release him yet. The war is not even done. What the hell? War is done. So I gained the secret on my man. Hold on. He's still looking. He's got 6 months left. This guy's not good at anything. Nah, I'm good. Nah, I don't like this brother. He can't work for me, fam. Anti-P. Shit. That's all this water I've been drinking. Not gonna lie, we might have to come off soon. Once we're done watching this video. Shit, it's already 5.
Unless you've been living under a rock, you're probably aware that that London is going through, and England is going through, a serious knife crime epidemic at the moment. There seems to be a stabbing every single day. In fact, I just read on the tube there was one 20 minutes ago, just up the road. Anyway, let's get into the state and see what it looks like.
Should I take over Austria?
Right, just walking through the high street, I can see this place has changed a lot in the last 8 or so years. I was here. There are far more white people here than I remember last time I came. I'm just looking over there. That looks like it's dinner time. The best chicken shop in all of London. I love Morley's.
Winnie Cena.
Is that the quickest way?
At Screwfix, click and collect is even quicker when you check in on the app.
I don't want them to get bought
Revered palaces,
by anyone.
historic gems, modern marvels.
What's going on here? Why
Beyond
is
a
it red?
collection of one-of-a-kind hotels, you'll uncover a collection of stories. The stories are yours, and the stories are unbound.
Shit, these are beefing as well.
So look, I think I'm walking into the estate now. I'm going to be a little bit discreet with the camera because I've got no idea how it goes down around here. But if you are from one of these estates, you have a gripe with me coming down here and showing off what I think it is, or just showing off to the world what it is, then reach out to me. I'll come back down again. Or it doesn't matter where you are in the UK. Reach out to me. I'm on Instagram or whatever else, and show me around and tell me from your perspective. I'm really interested to know what it is to be British, why you get involved in these post-Cold wars, why you get involved in the gang side of life. It's not something I've ever been involved in. It's not something I ever understand. So if you are willing to chat to me, I'll keep you anonymous, we'll keep you off camera, or we'll keep you blurred out. But yeah, reach out to me. Anyway, let's have a little walk around Angel Town.
Also, got a secret by account, Pedro of Prague. He has secret thing for them to be a commander from Prague. Ooh, interesting. You did your job. You did your job still. You can go back home. I have 3 prisoners. This is a kid. What the fuck am I meant to be with?
How is life in Angel Town?
I'm a recruiter, I guess.
Compared to like 20 years ago, there weren't as much for guys of our culture. So I feel like that's changed.
So it's improving?
Yeah.
Do you think that's because wider public is more accepting that we have a diverse community now?
Yeah, and I feel like schools as well, like changing, like extracurricular stuff, so people like us can be successful in the future.
Do you think London represents the rest of
With
England?
the death of infant Rodrigo Garcia or infant Federico. Oh!
In what way?
Bro, he let my baby die, fam.
Simple local crimes. The crime rate in London, like, that's probably higher than anywhere else in the UK. You get it? So, like,
when it comes to the crime, does it feel like it's getting better or worse for you guys?
it's getting worse. It's getting worse still. We weren't there back in the day, and like, we don't know how it was. But
what the fuck? I said they let my child die. That's nuts.
It's still happening.
When it comes to the gang stuff, do you see that in and around where you're living and where you are? Yeah. Is it? What leads lads to go down that path rather than sticking in school or going to get a job? From your perspective.
It's important that you want to make money. Yeah, all following in like other people's footsteps. Yeah. Stuff like that.
So they see it making it big, nice cars, good girls.
Yeah.
What, the bad girls?
It makes other people want to like go do it as well, innit?
Where's the best place for me to walk to about me getting
just not here.
in too much trouble. No. Right, so we're back in the town, and I'm not going to Morley's, unfortunately. I've just got myself some jerk chicken and a bit of curry goat from one of the stalls there, and I was speaking to one of the lasses. She said she's been here for 30 years and she's seen the change, a little bit like what I was describing, how before it used to be all Caribbean here, and now it's completely different. It doesn't feel so much like a community like it did back then. Anyway, right, I'm gonna head home. I'm gonna eat this. I say home, I'm gonna head to my hotel, which I'm pretty sure there's a rat in the roof. I'm gonna head there, wait for the sun to go down, and then we're going on a little night adventure.
I got a little ally there.
Let's go.
Laufen.
Turn the whole town upside down. Have you running
cool,
like
guys.
Willy Winky just in
I
your
think we're gonna
nightgown.
stop it here.
1,000 bricks like 100,000 rowdy kids. You couldn't out
Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Follow me on Twitch, and try to be back as soon as possible. Still next week. Let me know if you want to see more of this game as well, by the way.